for speed. Go!
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Time. It is Friday night, which can only mean one thing over here at 4-Player Network, and that it is time to drink, and it is time to talk about video games. Hey, everybody. I'm your host, Joseph Christ of Cocktail Time here at 4-Player Network, and with me, as per usual, is the wonderful and adorable Bob Webb. How you doing, Bob?
I was thinking you couldn't be talking about me.
I was always talking about you. I was definitely.
Oh.
Well, it's always about you, man.
And Chris Davis, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing okay.
You know, Chris, it's not switching to you when you speak. So it's something. Did you have your mic on?
I didn't press a thing. I didn't do anything.
Your mic's not set for
your mic not
Google
set
Hangout.
for Google Hangout is what happened.
But it is set the way it's supposed to be.
I don't think so because it's not switching over.
It's plugged in. It says it on my settings here.
But when you speak, do you see the little green going up and down?
Nope.
No, you
I
don't.
either.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, there it is. Now it is. You switched something just
Yeah.
now. You just hit a button. You son of a bitch. You.
I didn't do a damn thing.
I can tell you just hit a button.
Fucking technology tonight, man.
That's what it is. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Time. So here's the funny thing about tonight. I 100% completely forgot we were doing Cocktail Time tonight. Like 100%. 100% completely forgot. I had a long day and I was just working on multiple projects all day long, and I got home and was like, fuck it. I'm going to get some vodka, and I'm going to order a pizza, and I'm going to play Battlefield. That's what I've been doing for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, of drinking and eating pizza and playing Battlefield, and then I go, I'm going to take a break from Battlefield, and I'll just pop in the chat. I'm a little tipsy, and I'll pop into the chat and see what's going on. So I do, and I pop in the chat, and I'm like, blah, 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 I'm drunk. I wish I could yell at people on Battlefield because they all suck, and that's what's going on. And everyone's like, oh, you're a little drunk. I'm like, I'm a little tipsy. And then sci-fi chick goes, oh, are you having a couple of drinks before cocktail time? And then like a ton of, like a Mack truck full of bricks. I remember, oh my God, I have to do cocktail time tonight, and it starts in 5 minutes. I don't think I could have forgotten about cocktail time more than I did tonight.
Yeah, you didn't even hear my messages on...
You called me?
I called you.
What did your
I
message...
was calling, texting you, leaving you messages.
Wait a second. I don't think you have... Let's see. I don't have any voicemails from you.
No, I didn't leave a message. I sent you like 2 or 3
that's too
text
bad.
messages.
If you left me voicemails, I would have played it on cocktail time.
No.
Here.
No, I didn't.
You left me two texts. One says on your way, and then the next one is we still on for tonight? Where are you? Hello?
Hello?
So here we are. I'm a little drunk because I forgot. Usually I would like wait until cocktail time and then work my way up, but
Yeah, you're starting.
I'm starting off a little bit. People are commenting about I haven't shaved in a couple of days, so I have a little bit of a scruff. This is about as much of a beard as I grow right here. This is it. And it kind of looks like I fell into a pile of shit. It's not really much of a beard. It's like dirty looking. This is it. This is the extent of my manliness here. It's not very impressive.
You could do a mustache.
Not nearly as impressive. No, I had a goatee for a long time when I was younger.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures.
Seeing pictures of that. But well, thank you, Jeff on 4PP says I look great. Don't lie. It's really terrible looking. It's not like I can grow a beard or anything like that. All right. Let us do our toast of the week. Hey. Chris Davis, why don't you go first?
God, why do I have to go first?
Because I'm the host and I chose you.
Oh, and you didn't think of anything. Well, too bad, because I didn't really think of anything tonight. So, I will toast to my 200th hour of Civilization 5, which I did last night.
200 hours.
Yep.
Jesus. Have you beat the game yet?
I've beaten the game about 9 times. I'm doing my 10th run.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
And I don't know. I wish I could come with something better. And it's just another screwdriver tonight. But hey, there's a moderate amount of alcohol in it.
You know, I'm glad since we switched to Fridays that we're seeing you drinking on Cocktail Time.
Finally.
It's good. It's good.
It was also actually, you know what? My toast this week goes to the weathermen at the various channels here in Austin who decided that half an inch of ice is enough to shut down the city. So I had a day off today.
Oh, for a half inch of ice.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go.
Which I bet would mostly melted by 9 a.m.
It's probably gone by midday.
No. It was about 3 o'clock before it finally started to ease up out there, but still.
Yeah, I guess you guys don't have all-weather or snow tires, so you really don't have the traction to move around on that shit anyway.
Yeah. All their tires in Texas are made of bacon, which doesn't have much traction to it. All right, Bob. Oh, you said what you're drinking. Okay, Bob, you go next.
I'm drinking. I got a theme tonight.
A theme?
I decided to go across the street and theme
So
this
excited.
bullshit up. So I'm drinking. I got a shot of tequila here. I'm drinking Modelo.
A Mexican
Modelo
thing.
Especial.
Yellow.
Yeah. So and as you can tell, it's a very Mexican Hispanic theme.
Right.
Because my shot goes to Drinkbox. So I picked up Guacamole. I've been playing that bullshit.
Nice.
Which is good. It's good bullshit. I know I called it bullshit, and it's usually applied to bad things, but this one's good.
Very nice.
Yes, I'm going through that whole Metrovania kick, looking for inspiration and figuring out how the good titles do things, and it's very formulaic. But it's great, like the way they've done this game. I can talk more about it later.
Yeah, we will.
Stop rambling now.
Cool. I will go next. So my toast goes tonight out to the developers of Rust. I downloaded Rust this week, and I've been playing a bunch of Rust, and I have sort of a love-hate relationship with Rust. And I'll talk about it, but it's pretty good. If you guys remember, I was talking about the game I was talking about last week, where I kind of wanted a game that had to do with like just pure social interaction, devoid of zombies and all that kind of stuff. Rust is that game. And there are zombies in Rust, but they're actually going to be taking the zombies out, I think, because I think they realize that they're not really necessary. So anyway,
they're cutting them out.
Yeah, because they're like, well, we don't really need zombies because people are awful, and people are the worst enemy you could possibly have in our game. So my toast goes out to the developers of Rust. And what am I drinking tonight? I am drinking. I have vodka and Coke Zero, and actually here's the bottle of vodka. It's Pinnacle vodka, and that's how much I've drunk so far. Not like maybe about a quarter of the bottle.
Is it flavored vodka?
No, this is not the flavored one.
Because I know they do a bunch of flavored. So actually, the first time I ever seen Pinnacle was the flavored ride.
I have been getting the whipped cream flavored one that this girl I'm friends with now has introduced me to. But this is just the regular one because I had I ordered a pizza and I was worried that the whipped cream one would have too many calories. Because I am a female, deep inside apparently. All right.
We have a bottle of the Pinnacle whipped cream in our
it's good.
cabinet.
It's good stuff. All right.
It's dangerous.
Let us toast 1 and 2 and 3. Yeah, you know.
Ooh, tequila. Ooh.
With the Pinnacle vodka itself is so smooth. With the Coke Zero, it's so smooth. But when you add the whipped cream flavored Pinnacle vodka to it, it's like you just want to keep on drinking it because it's like, wow, this is really tasty. I'll just keep throwing these back, and I can, and I've done this twice so far. So this bottle, this size bottle, the regular one, I've downed twice so far. I've downed the entire bottle by myself.
God damn.
In the span of how much time, though?
One night.
Ew.
One night.
God, I bet you're feeling awful the next day.
Bad, but not death-defying. But you know, I have what they call a high constitution. So
That's a big liver.
well, you know, maybe or small. I think my liver looks like a hockey puck at this point.
No, it grows.
No, they actually get bigger. I know. Yeah.
When you damage it.
When you
So
damage
you're
it.
probably about 50% liver.
Oh, that's all. It's all liver as well.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't. I don't drink as much as I used to. But that's why I have to be careful with the Pinnacle vodka. I will just do down the whole thing if it's the whipped cream one. All right. God, what happened this week? This week is a fucking blur for me because I've been so busy. And I mean, Chris Davis, has there been anything? I don't want to get into news just yet, but overarching, what have been the biggest things that have happened this week? I don't like to just jump into games we've been playing. I like to have a little banter first, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you need to tease it.
You need a teaser a little bit?
Play.
So is there anything I should be angry about?
Well, you heard about the King lawsuits, right? Or
the King.com lawsuit.
news, but
I
it's
didn't
just
hear about
bullshit.
that. Yeah, that is total bullshit.
There's a controversy going on with Tomb Raider, its definitive edition, which is coming out next week.
Mm-hmm. Is it really like right? Keep going.
Basically, it comes down to the fact that the PS4 version is going to run at 60 frames a second, and the Xbox One is going to run at 30.
They keep on getting into this problem, don't they? The Xbox One keeps on getting into this problem of you know.
There were some leaks of Titanfall gameplay.
Oh.
And Monolith showed off the first gameplay of Shadows of Mordor, which I kind of want to talk about.
I heard about that. Well, you know, I want to talk about the Shadows of Mordor thing, because I had a bit of a Twitter conversation today with both Nick and Brad. But before we do that, if I can find some appropriate music in here. This is on the fly. This is just crazy. I don't even know what's going to happen here. I have no idea. Maybe this will go wrong. Wait, maybe this will be good. God damn it. All this shit's all fucked up. All my shit is fucked up.
You never touch it every week.
What? My shit?
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
You say nothing ever changes.
Nothing ever. See, the problem is all my tracks are messed up. I was looking for an appropriate music track so we can do our segment. What is Tara playing? I want to bring Tara in. Here, so we can do. No,
that's a great metagame, actually.
No, that's not it.
I was wondering that a few minutes ago.
All my tracks
looking
are
over my
fucked
shoulder.
up. All my tracks are fucked up. They're all just fucked up.
There is documented footage.
No, that's not the one.
It. Told you delete that track.
I will never delete that track. That track will be around forever. You just have to. We'll have to do it without music then. What is Tara playing tonight? Let's see. Bring Tara over here. Let's take a look. Bob, move over. We can't see what Tara's playing.
What?
Move over. We can't see what Tara's playing.
Are you going to try to guess what Tara's playing?
No, I want to see the screen. I want Tara to come over and talk about what she's playing.
Dang.
She's playing Skyrim tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because I think I have all the expansions on my account now. So.
Oh, nice. What level is Tara now?
She just created a new character, so probably 10, 12?
They added a lot of questing material in the world. They added a lot of new areas to explore. There's now whole extra quest line with vampires.
Yeah,
and
that's the Dawn
skooma
Guard.
Operation. Yeah.
Right.
Like you run across like an underground skooma operation that's
remember
actually
that
run
one.
by vampires. Yeah, it's brand
Oh,
new.
it's great. I love the Red Scuba quest there.
Well, it's not brand new. It's part of Dawn
Well,
Guard.
yeah.
It's brand new to us because we
It's
haven't
Right.
been playing it.
Like, I mean, yeah, so...
Yeah, and I know Frank was playing Skyrim as well, and the only way he can get through it is because of the lightsaber mod.
Frank doesn't like anything.
No.
I think Frank like dislikes many more things than he likes. I think Frank likes Star Wars.
Star Wars.
He likes League of Legends,
Uh-huh.
and that might be it. I think that's all he likes.
Now, if only we could combine the two, have like a Star Wars MOBA.
I think when Frank goes to like the restaurants, he imagines the food he's ordering is actually not a hamburger, but he's ordering League of Legends, or he's ordering Star Wars. I'd like a Star Wars burger. We don't serve that. No, this is your Star Wars burger.
No, it's Disney. They're gonna find a way to make a MOBA. They're gonna hire out one obscure EA developer to make that. It's happening. It's going to happen.
A Star Wars MOBA?
Yeah, there's no way it's not gonna happen.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You could call it a SWOBA.
A SWOBA? Is that Star Wars Online Arena?
Online multiplayer arena.
Yeah, SWOBA.
SWOBA.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh.
All right. I think we can get into what we're playing now. What are we playing? What are you playing, Chris Davis? If that is your real name.
Well, that is actually my real name.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I haven't had much time to play games lately. I've been working on a few things. Mainly, it's been Civ 5, Payday, and a little bit of DayZ.
Okay.
So
Max Payne, did you say?
no, it's Civilization 5.
Well, you said three things. Civilization 5.
DayZ.
DayZ.
And Payday 2.
Oh, Payday 2. For some reason I heard like Max Payne. And you said you were playing Payday 2 last week and the week before that.
Well, it's a damn good game, man.
You need some new games.
I think you need to join me and play some of these games with me.
Maybe. I'm gonna be like I'll be like Ken Levine, and you be like Carlos. How about that?
Dude, you can...
You know that story, right? When Carlos met Ken Levine,
Yeah.
Carlos goes to I forget what convention it was. It was the one where they took all the Who Is That Man stuff. It was probably PAX East, I think. It was PAX East.
Was it East?
It was East. So Carlos goes, and he goes up. Ken Levine is there, and Carlos goes up to Ken Levine, and he goes, dude, as Carlos does. And he says, I love SWAT 4. SWAT 4 is my favorite game of all time. And Ken Levine looks at Carlos and goes, you need to play some new games. It's awesome.
I also played a little Crisis 3 and Ansem Splinter Cell this week.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for gaming for me.
Crisis 3.
Yeah.
That's
I was playing the Hunter mode, and the Hunter mode I can't get enough of.
Yeah. You were liking the Hunter mode.
It's hilarious fun. It's an Aliens mode.
Yeah, you were saying that. I still have not gotten Crisis 3. Or maybe I did.
A few weeks ago, it was like $10 on fucking Origin.
Maybe I
You
did get
gotta-
Crisis 3. Which
it's
is
worth it.
for the 360. Wait,
I was playing on both PC and 360.
how many? There was 2 Crises that came out for the 360, right?
Yeah, Crisis
All
2
all
and
three of
Crisis
them are on
3.
there.
Yeah, all three of them go on there.
Okay, I think I played Crisis 2, but not 3.
Crisis 2 is good. Crisis 3 is pretty much the same thing with a nicer coat of paint and some very small gameplay tweaks.
I think the only time I played Crisis 3 was when we got invited to the Crisis party at PAX Prime thing, and we got to play the multiplayer at the party. Before that was it.
You gotta try the Hunter mode, man.
I'll
It's
try
so
that
good.
one. I'll wait till it's really cheap. Well, I have to get it on PC because I don't really touch old gen anymore. You know,
Yeah,
it feels dirty. It feels dirty. I want to
Is
get
your
my
PC even going to be able to run
hands
it?
dirty. Probably not.
Yeah.
My PC is super old gen. 10 years, 7 or 10 years, something like that.
Man, I made you a build several months ago.
Right, but he didn't give me money. You
make more money than me, man.
You can give
Come
me
on.
a build. Oh, yeah, but my expenses are. I live in the city, and you live in like Yokel, Texas.
Austin's pretty expensive though.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
It's a bubble inside of a yokel.
No, that's true.
Yokel bubble.
That's true. I don't. Why do I have less money than you? How come I don't have a new computer?
Get yourself into debt. Just do that.
I did do that. That's done. I did that part.
Get yourself further into debt.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works.
That's what it is.
Just keep going down into debt until you can't see daylight, and that's when you stop.
I need to get myself one of those like immigrant social security numbers that don't really exist and get a credit card. That'd be good.
Or everybody can just buy our game. We can make tons of money.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. This is my last try, Bob. It's my last hurrah. This doesn't work out. When I'm swinging from the noose, it'll be on your head.
Oh, great. You're going to put that on my...
On your shoulders. The boat will be on your hands. There'll be a note, staple gun to my chest, and it'll be like, it's your fault, Bob!
Well, that's the plan, though. Is I'm gonna tell you we didn't sell shit.
All right, so then you get
you're gonna kill yourself. I'm gonna get your share.
Get my cut of the
the
money.
ultimate
I knew it! Now it's recorded!
money.
Now it's recorded. So we go into the famous lawsuit that's on Kotaku and all those other places, and be like, here it is, the tape! The tape! Oh, man.
How much are y'all going to charge for that game?
don't fucking know.
$7,000.
Yeah,
We'll sell
we're only
one-
planning on selling
one
about 50
copy.
or 100 copies of them.
It depends how long it is. We haven't gotten that far yet. Honestly.
Yeah.
You should know this by now. You've been working on the game for what, a year and a half now?
Not well. I mean,
No.
a lot of that's like a lot of that's not actively working on the full scope of the game. A lot of that is deciding what the scope is, coming up with mechanics and whatnot.
Yeah, so we started. It hasn't even been a full year since we came up for an idea of the game. It's been more than a full year since I got the original team together.
Right.
Then we came up with the idea for the game as a joke around.
It was a joke,
May?
which is funny.
I think around May we came up with it, and it was just made it a joke. And then I made a prototype probably sometime in June. And then we didn't actually switch over to full time on the game until like August.
Right.
Or some time like that. Like it was some time, like way. We've only been working like on the game at full time as a team for maybe 4 months, 5 months,
Not even.
maybe 6 months.
Not
I
even.
don't
No, not 6 months. I haven't been involved for 6 months. I've been involved for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I mean that's about. I mean when Joseph hopped on, that's when we were pretty much doing it full time.
Right. A lot of like video games in general. A lot of them start off as sort of ideas being thrown around for a couple of years before full production actually takes place. You know, if you read a lot of stuff on Gama Sutra about I can't think of the name right now, but when they talk about after a game has been developed and they talk about the process of the game, like they'll say like, yeah, like we were developing game A and we were just kind of throwing around ideas for game B for a couple of years during that period, and then when game A was done, we decided to really sit down and start talking about game B. And then like 6 months after that is when they start production kind of thing. So there's this long period of gestation that usually kind of takes place quite often.
Yeah.
And we're still developing mechanics and trying to figure out what we want to do with it and whatnot. So, I mean, right now we've basically been focusing on here's the demo, which is sort of a vertical slice of what we have so far and the best representation of everything we have sort of worked out so far. So.
Yeah, I mean, I checked my email, and it looked like we began pretty much full time as a team beginning of September. So that was what
September?
4 months? 4 months?
About 4 months.
Fuck, that's not that much time.
4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah, that's and then I think I'm tentatively planning like a next year release with maybe like 5 to 8 hours of gameplay, depending on how much money and time we have.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the biggest deciding factor.
Right. Yeah. So But that's one of the things we need to work out. So I think it's pretty much we're focusing on this demo for PAX East first, and then once we get through with that, or not even once we get through with that, like as we're leading up to that, Bob is starting to think about sort of general overall game scope, and then once we're done with PAX East, that's when we start really putting together the game itself. Like, how are the levels going to work out? How big are they? How many levels? What do the levels look like? What kind of areas are we going to have? That kind of thing. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of design stuff, and that's why I've been playing a lot of Metroidvanias recently, is because I wanted to try to see what other people were doing with them and get a feel for how they're generally paced and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, as long as I get royalties for the trailer.
I don't think the trailer makes any money, does it?
A trailer helps sell the game, thank you very much.
I don't know how that usually works.
I mean, if it's going to be on Steam Greenlight, it needs something to advertise it, doesn't it?
I'll give you a blowjob. How's that?
Thing is, I would love a blowjob, but
Right.
I wouldn't want it from you. No offense. You're just not my target
audience?
blowjob giver.
Well, don't knock it till you tried it. That's all I'm saying.
He gives an amazing blowjob.
So that's what goes under in those team meetings.
They're very long meetings. Oh, man. Anyway, what have you been playing, Bob?
I can talk a little bit about DayZ.
Yeah, well, it's the new version of DayZ. It's the alpha of the
Standalone.
The alpha of the standalone.
Yeah.
My whole thing with DayZ, my whole big problem with it officially has always been the clunkiness of the engine. I've always had a problem with that.
It's the same engine, same. Like, things are better. Some things are a little better. The interface is a lot easier to manage. UI and like equipment and everything, that's a little bit better, but it still has the middle mouse context menu bullshit, and it works. I mean, it's not great, but it's
unconventional.
It's very unconventional.
You don't realize just how much you are used to like a standard tab to open like an inventory system or an interact system until you play a game from Bohemia Interactive, and then you're suddenly using a scroll wheel, and if you don't have a mouse in a mouse with a scroll wheel, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's and from looking at what I played on the mod version of DayZ, there was almost more mechanics and content there than there is in the standalone.
Yeah, there absolutely are. I mean, up until the standalone release, they were still working on dogs.
Dogs?
But there were
dogs.
Like AI companion dogs.
AI companion dogs? I didn't know they had that.
There was AI companion dogs in the mod?
It was going to be. I think it was in an unofficial release. It's in there, but it's not in like the official release, if I recall.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, there's no crafting. There's there's no crafting. There's no hunting. There's no vehicles. There's a whole lot that's missing in the
There's no temperature. There's no weather as far as I can tell.
Wow.
There's no cold.
They took a lot of stuff out.
They took a lot of it out. I mean, that's when I was playing it. I was like, this is kind of weird, because I remember there being a lot like more things going on in the game, like in the mod when I was playing it. But I think the core of the game's a lot better. It seems a lot more stable. There's a couple of like bullshit things that the zombies still do. Like they run through fucking fences.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, and walls.
Yeah, so you can't lose them around fences or walls and break line of sight. I mean, you can run away from them. You can run like up a hill or down the road, and you'll be able to eventually lose them. But if you're trying to just still kind of stealth around an area and find loot and stuff, it's a pain in the ass, because you have to run really far away before they stop following you, especially when you start with nothing.
It seems like they need, like, they're really good in terms of the idea department and whatnot, but they really need some like deeper programmers on that team, or people who can look at stuff and go, hey, these zombies are going through walls, let me fix that for you, so that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like that seems like it would be a very logical
pretty standard, like A-star collision, pathing and stuff that you should be doing Like I'm surprised the game doesn't already have it in there because
To go back and do it seems like a bigger job than to do it at the beginning.
Well, they completely rewrote the zombie AI for the standalone.
And now they go through fences, and that's quite an
they did
improvement.
before.
Oh,
They did before.
that's true.
But I think we also have to realize that, number one, this is still an alpha, and number two,
Oh, I know.
this game is being made by, I think, 15, 20 people?
That's not a bad sized team.
It's a small team for the amount of copies they sold.
Well, they sold
They're
over
a lot of money on that return.
They sold over.
Yeah,
they sold over a million. Over a million. And I would say that they should hire more staff at this point. And you guys, what you guys have to remember, something I found out from hanging out with the Cast AR people, is that for a lot of these companies like Cast AR and Oculus Rift, and I'm not so sure about software developers, but a lot of times the Kickstarter is just the first step. Like they get initial funding from Kickstarter, and then you go through things like Round A and Round B financing, where then you go for private financing, and that's where the big money is. That's where like the $15-70 million is. And I know that Oculus has been going through that, and they have I think I forget what the number was, but it was in the double digits of millions from Round B financing from private financiers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop. Like, it doesn't stop at. Usually, it shouldn't stop at Kickstarter. Kickstarter gets you going, and then you say, "Hey, business guy or investor, this many people gave us this much money. We have something legit here. How about you give us some money too?" Is kind of how it's been going. So I mean, they need to do that round B financing, but in the meantime, start hiring some people to start getting this thing off the ground and get it to a better state.
Yeah, it's still janky. They've added like new features and stuff. There's like a lot new cosmetic type stuff. You can get headlamps that replace flashlights.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can use those. Everybody starts with a flashlight. You don't really start with anything else, really. You have to go find crowbars and hatchets in order to kill things. Cans, you can't open up. You can't just eat cans of food. You need to be able to have something to open them. And depending on what you use to open them, will reduce the amount of food you get out of it.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. So can openers will get you the most food out of it. But you can use like an axe or a screwdriver or something to open up a can. You'll maybe only get 60, 70, 80% of the food out.
Wow.
So it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting ideas there, but you also have to remember when you try to make a game super realistic in the mechanics, that the real world isn't fun.
Right.
You still have to make it fun.
Right.
Like, you don't want to have like ultra realistic mechanics in the game, and it's just like, well, fuck, why don't I just go out and hike around the mountains? Like, why am I playing a fucking game if I'm just, if it's so pedantic and just the same damn thing over again? And it's like, all right, well, I would like to go have fun and go raid this town, but I just got dysentery, so my character's going to sit here and shit their brains out for 2 hours.
Right. That would be fun.
That would be fun. So, well, I'm totally gimped now. My character will walk 5 steps, crouch down, and then just violently defecate. And that's as fast as I can move.
I would play that
some
game.
Antibiotics.
I'd play that game.
That's not fun. I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
There's a limit to how really you want to go. And hopefully I think they did a pretty good job so far with DayZ. And it's an early game. It's early access. It's alpha. It's still very, very immature. And I can see later on, like when they finally get everything they want to do with it in, it could be a lot of fun, especially if they get in fortifications and whatnot. But then you look at a game like Rust, where the game was designed from the core to do that. It's kind of like, well, why would I want to play this when what I really want is in another game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many damn survival games now.
I know. Well, Rust is... I'd say Rust... I haven't played the new DayZ yet. But I'm playing a lot of Rust. If you don't mind me segueing real fast into this. Do you want to speak more about DayZ, or should I...
There's not much to say. I mean, it's
DayZ,
but with
right?
just
is DayZ.
more cosmetic shit and less functionality.
So DayZ, I mean, the thing about Rust is like you mix Minecraft and DayZ, pretty much. And if people have been following my Twitter's at @thejosephchrist. I've been talking about Rust, all week, and how Rust is very difficult right now. It's you have these gangs of people in Rust on the servers who are all equipped and they have guns and they have giant fortresses that you can build. I mean, you go in and it's like Minecraft, but it's more real. It's realistic graphics. So you start with a rock and you hit a tree until you get enough wood, and you hit a rock until you get enough like other rocks and stuff, and then you can make a hatchet.
Let's be clear real quick. It's not voxel based.
It's not voxel based. It's all like
it's not like
realistic.
Seven Ways to Die, I think, is a voxel based type. Another survival RPG.
No, it's real. It's realistic looking.
Yeah, it's very realistic. There's no digging. You can't reform the terrain or anything like that.
But eventually, like, you get enough stuff where you can build a shack, and if you build a shack, then you can build, like, you can build a campfire and a furnace, and the furnace you can smelt metals, and you get a workbench, and workbench you can build other things, and once you get, like, enough wood, you can build boards, and then you make the wood into boards, and you take the boards, and you can make the boards into foundations, and then take those, and then make pillars and walls, and you can build giant fortresses if you want. So you start out, and you are basically a naked dude with a rock. You're a naked dude with a rock and a torch and 3 bandages, and that's it. And you get thrown into this world where there are people who are there with their groups of friends who have been there for a while, who have these big fortresses and Kevlar armor and guns, and just roaming around, killing everything they see, everyone they see, and raiding people's shacks at night and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy. So I spent a week on different servers. Like, I would almost get to the point where I could get my foot in the ground, and then someone would kill me, and I have to start all over again. Because what you need to survive in DayZ in Rust is you need a shack, you need a campfire, you need a box, and you need a sleeping bag. If you don't have those things, if you don't have the sleeping bag is most important. If you have everything but the sleeping bag and you get killed, you respawn in a random part of the world. And you literally finding your shed is luck at that point. And so you basically have to start all over again. Once you get the sleeping bag, then you respawn in your shed. So death is not as scary anymore. But I was on a server, and I was doing well, and I had a shack, and I had a bunch of stuff, and I was doing good. I'm like, fuck yeah. So and then I was like hanging out in my shed, and I'm making shit. I'm crafting stuff. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get a foothold in this fucking world. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. And all of a sudden, I hear like outside of my shed. I'm like, fuck. And you have to hide your shed, or people will fuck with you. And I guess I didn't hide it well enough. And I hear all of a sudden I hear. And it's someone with their hatchet trying to break my door down. And you can break people's wooden doors down with their hatchet. I'm like, oh fuck! I don't have any guns or nothing. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't just stay here, and wait for him to. So I get my hatchet, and I wing my door open, and I smash him in the head with my hatchet and wing the door closed again. But he's not. But he's not dead, And so all of a sudden, I'm waiting there, and I hear more rustling around. And then I hear, ka-choom, 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 on my fucking door again. I'm like, oh my god. And I have to do it again. I gotta do it again. I gotta do it again. I gotta do it again. I wing the door open, and I go, boom, and I swing, and he moves back really fast. And I'm like, oh fuck. And then he whips out a gun and shoots me dead.
Oh.
And I wasn't able to even close my door. So I respawn, and so there's a time limit. There's a 5-minute cooldown between when you can respawn on your sleeping bag. So I respawn in a random part of the world. And I was like, fuck. Like, he's raiding all of my shit. All of my shit. I ended up finding my way back to my shed, and it was all gone. Like, it was just all gone. And I was like, oh, God. So I got frustrated, and I said something in chat about, God damn it, I'm just getting frustrated. And someone was like, hey, I'm starting a server, why don't you join? And they sent me a group invite to this thing called Rust Life. It's a group on
it's a Steam group.
Steam group, yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Sounds more like a cult.
So no, but I join up, and it's not a main official server. It's like whatever server, and it's not like filled with people. Like the other server that we're on was like 200 out of 200. So it's like it's just filled. You go in, and there's like sheds everywhere.
God damn. So it's like a little private server.
It's more of a private server, and I've seen Moe's at the most. So when I get in, there's like 18 people on. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty nice.
No,
and they're relatively going to be... I mean, it's probably invite only, so people that go on the server really know that it's...
Yeah, I don't know if it's really invite them. If you have... It's not. There's no password or anything, but I mean, more it's like, I got this invite to the group, so it's 18 people, like, okay, cool. So I go on, I'm like, all right, I'm finding resources. Like, all the resources weren't gone because there's not tons of people. And I found myself a little area. And I'm like, all right. So I'm doing well. I got my sleeping bag, and I'm just going out, and I'm hunting, and I'm getting animals and shit. I'm getting cloth, and I'm making clothes. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm doing good. And I'm like, all right, I'm doing all this stuff, and I got my shed, and it's hidden away, and I'm making stuff. And, I'm like, all right, there's a rad town. There's a town over there. I'm going to go in there. And, usually towns are everywhere. Everyone is everywhere. And if you get close, you get killed. But there was, I'm going through, and there's no one there. I'm like, oh, fuck, there's all these boxes here. And I start going through the boxes, and I open a box, and there's a fucking 9mm handgun and a bunch of ammo. And I equipped that shit, and I pulled out my gun, and I fucking felt like Michael Douglas from Falling Down. And I was like, you motherfuckers are gonna pay. All of you. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna fucking kill anyone I see. And I realized that after weeks and weeks of being killed by assholes, they had turned me into one of them.
You became what you hated.
I became what I hated. And now, I got my place, and I got a giant wall in front of my place. And my 9mm has a laser scope on it, and I got 4 shotguns, and I got all this shit. I have Kevlar boots, and a bunch of armor, and I'm ready. I'm ready to kill some motherfuckers. And I killed one man. I killed a naked man. And I was going through the field with my shotgun. I was looking for stuff. And all of a sudden, somebody spawns right next to me. And he's a naked man. On this server, they turn nudity on. So when you spawn, you are naked with your little dick hanging out. And I pulled up the shotgun. And I had the shotgun on him. And he was looking at me. And he kind of moved back and forth. And then the naked man ran at me. And I shot the naked man with my shotgun. And it felt so good. His little wiener flew through the air as he got thrown back. And you know what I did? I went over his body and I took his bandages.
Nice.
All he had was a rock and bandages and a torch. I didn't need the torch, but I took the bandages. So anyway, I haven't been on in a day. I tried to go on yesterday, but the server was down and it was fine. I had stuff to do anyway. But I haven't been on yet. So hopefully my stuff's okay, but I have a giant wall. And I have a giant area that I walled off, and I put a metal door outside, and then I have a shed, and there's a metal door on that. And the entire back part is surrounded by a spiked walls that if you touch, you get hurt. So I think I should be pretty good. So I have my 9mm, got my 9mm, what's the dealio, with my laser sight, and I got a couple of shotguns now, and I got a whole bunch of... basically, I need to build, because I need more room for my shit that I'm collecting. So, because I'm smelting stuff, and I'm making ammo, making gunpowder. It's like, fuck, I'm in my little shed with the fucking furnace going, and I'm making ammo from sulfur and charcoal, and I feel like the fucking Unabomber.
It's like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, not even. It's like Unabomber mixed with Falling Down. It's really something. So, Quality Beats is saying update. There's an update that allows you to build some sick shit. Okay, well, I will update. The server has to update as well. Hopefully they will. But I do
like how there's that level of persistence in the game, to where when you log out of the game, your character doesn't log out.
No.
Stay in the
there's
world.
completely so one of the things you can do so when you go out, you're looking for, you have to forage, right? So you're foraging for animals, which gives you food and cloth, and foraging for wood and minerals from rocks. And then in towns, you'll find crates that have items or whatever else. But you're also looking for people who are less equipped than you, that you can either befriend or kill to get their shit, or you're looking for sleeping dudes. And every once in a while, you'll check all the empty shacks, because people will find empty shacks to go and hide to sleep. Because when you disconnect, you actually go to sleep, and your body stays in the world. And sometimes you'll see a sleeping player, and that's when you take out your hatchet and you bash their fucking head in, and you see what they have. So you don't want to waste a bullet or ammo. You take out your rock or your hatchet, and you do it like an animal. You do it like the old ways. You do them dirty, like we used to do. So anyway, Russ has turned me into a horrible person. That's what I'm saying. And I hit the wrong button. Hold on, there we go. Russ has turned me into a horrible person, and I don't think I'll ever be the same again. I actually, you want to know something funny? So my name on Steam used to be 4PP Joseph Christ. I actually changed my name to something that wasn't my real name because I'm doing such horrible things in the game.
Oh, is that why I haven't seen you online? Let me see if I can find.
I'm not online right now. So you won't see
we
me.
need to know.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
But I changed my name away from my public name because I didn't want people to know what atrocities I've been committing. So there you go. But it's fantastic. It's such it's all about the story that people make. And that's kind of what gaming is really what people are clamoring for. I think bless you, Chris.
Excuse me.
I think people are
Sorry.
so tired or used to the controlled narrative, Like when I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, not to shit on that game anymore, but that game and another game, Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider. Every 3 seconds there's a cutscene. Every 5 seconds, every 5 minutes there's a cutscene. They're pulling control from the character from you to show you a cutscene, to push the narrative and push the narrative. It's such a close-ended narrative that it's constricting. And I know they want to tell a story, but what's proven to be more interesting is the story people are creating for themselves in these sandboxes. I was on Twitch yesterday, and I was just looking at Rust streams, and there was this guy, and he had these people, right? And they had these people, and they were in a big thing, and then all of a sudden this guy shows up, and he was the chief. And the chief shows up, and it was this African American guy, and he sounded very stereotypical, but he was if I do the voice, that's why, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything. But I mean, he shows up, and he's like, come with me, I'm the chief, come on. And he was gathering people. And he had 7 people, and he was telling people to give away all their belongings and come with him into the mountains. And people were, and this guy's like, I'm gonna go live with the chief. So he put all of his stuff in the crates of his group, and he's like, I'll see you everyone, I'm gonna go live with the chief. And the chief had 8 people, and he's like, we're all gonna go to the mountain, here we go. And they went up into the mountain, he's like, don't worry, life is a mountain goat, ain't too hard, but it's alright, we're alright. And it was beautiful, it was so beautiful. I mean, you couldn't write shit like that, It reminds me of, it's these unscripted moments that are so good. It reminds me of, there's this video of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the video was actually about a bug in the game, and it's one of the bugs where there's a big hole in the ocean, and all the people are rising up to the sky. And in this video, and if someone knows the video I'm talking about, put it in a chat, but the video, they added in this religious music. And as everyone is floating up to the sky, there's all this religious music playing as they're going up. And then the boat starts rising up from the ground as the religious music sort of hits a crescendo. And I thought, oh my God, I know this is just a bug, and I know someone just added music to the bug to make it funny, but imagine if this moment was in the game somehow. That would be so cool. That would be such a weird, crazy kind of moment that's kind of what I want to see in games. These sort of these crazy, outlandish moments that seem unscripted. I mean, even though that moment seems scripted, I know it's just so off kilter, off base. It's so neat and so fun that I want to see shit like that in video games. Either that or this stuff where you just have the sandbox and you make your own narratives, like these people are doing in Rust with their friends and these other people, and they're actually making their own allegiances and making their own enemies with these other groups that are building castles, and they go and they battle each other. I mean, that's great. This emergent narrative thing is so cool that it makes the heavily scripted stuff you see in normal Assassin's Creed or the new Tomb Raider seems so trite in comparison. And I hate to knock, these writers that try to write these stories for these developers and try to, make these CGI scenes to push the player through these stories. But I go and I watch movies for a reason, and then I go and I play games for a reason. And I think there's been so much separation between the two. I don't know, am I wrong in wanting more just player content? That I think that's kind of where gaming needs to go?
Well, this is not anything that was new. I mean, I remember back when I was playing the original Ultima Online. Ultima Online was a sandbox game.
Right.
It was extremely a sandbox game. And I remember the shit that would go on in that game would be insane.
Right.
Like the people they would create the world, and every server was entirely different depending on what people were doing.
Right.
So you may have like a mad bomber that's running around one town, running around Britannia. He's got a really high alchemy skill and a tinkering skill or whatever, and he's created all these boxes, and he's laid boxes in the streets. And he'll go and hide in these buildings and just sitting there and wait until someone goes up there and tries to open the box. And then you'll see, these noobs will go, oh, there's a box in the ground. I'm going to go and pick it up and open it up. It explodes, kills the player. He runs out of the house and then loots their corpse. And there was like a fucking epidemic of this guy. This guy would go around to like all the different cities and like hit different cities, and you'd hear people talking about it like, "Don't beware of boxes. Don't go loot different boxes."
You're like, why?
There's a bomber in town.
I know, that's amazing. So what? A couple of people in chat are saying Frank doesn't like my idea because I know Frank likes heavy narrative. As long as he approves of it, Frank likes it. And he has to approve of it. I'm not trying to bitch on Frank too much. And Victus is saying these create your own stories thing work, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
and I get that. I know people like Nick love the narrative and stories. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I want narrative and stories to go away. I'm just saying it's been so heavy-handed over the past 10 years that I think people are aching for a little freedom. You know, and I think games like DayZ, games like Rust are finally giving some people that freedom, and I think that's why they're so popular right now. That's why when a Rust or a DayZ comes out, they sell 1 million copies while they're still in alpha, because people want that experience. They want to.
People are hungry for that experience. It's one that we used to have a long time ago. I remember even
Muds even were choosing your own adventure.
Muds, and there was a dark. What was that fucking called? There was an MMO that came out recently. It was like a very PvP-oriented game. It was Darkfall, I think is what it's called.
Oh, that sounds really familiar, yeah.
Darkfall
Sounds
Online.
delightfully generic.
Exactly, it's fucking fantasy MMO. But they had very similar skill systems to Ultima Online, and it was big. It was pretty big. Like, a lot of people jumped onto it.
You know what? It's funny. Here's funny. One of the people who worked on Darkfall was on PS4 Playroom last night, doing a chat.
Huh.
And he's the artist and one of the developers for My Virtual Boyfriend and My Virtual Girlfriend iOS games. And he was doing a Playroom thing called Chat with the Game Developer, and I was watching it last night.
Oh, so he was just like, he's worked on Darkfall. Oh,
Darkfall and Call of Duty World at War and a bunch of titles. So
at least I'm thinking of Darkfall. It's kind of an open world PvP game.
Yeah, he was an artist, I think. So he was just kind of talking about game development stuff. So
yeah, it looks like Darkfall.
That's kind of funny that you just mentioned that. So.
Yeah, it's one of those open world kind of do your own thing game.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, Rust is very cool. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to, it's one of those games that either I could love or hate.
Mm-hmm.
If I go in and I have a good experience, I think I could probably really enjoy it. But if I go in and just have a shit experience, several times in a row, then I would be like, all right, I'm not going to play this game. Ever.
I think, so here's the trick about Rust, is from watching people play it and playing it myself, it is much better with friends. You need to play it with people.
I only ever played DayZ with friends, and that's the most entertaining part of DayZ.
Same here.
Yeah.
So I just need to get a Rust crew together.
We need to do a Rust crew. That'd be fun. You know,
I've been thinking about doing a Rust community night, but
I'm
I
pretty-
don't have the game yet.
I'm
so-
pretty set up on the server I'm on now, so maybe we can continue to build up my fortress and start
Start a community.
Start
the
killing-
community of Christ.
start killing some bitches. Yes, Christ community, community of
Do you
Christ.
accept Christ as your savior?
Yeah, here he is. Bring him to me. Take off your pants. Let me check your manhood.
You shall be baptized. Is it just a male models? That's it?
Yeah, there's no female models. Which,
I was gonna say,
you know,
gamers can't handle tits, naked tits.
I was gonna say, in a post-apocalyptic setting, it's probably for the best.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't. Oh man, I can't imagine getting a female character in that game. Like,
It would
it
get bad real fast.
would get real bad real fast.
I know. A bunch of prepubescent adolescent boys in a post-apocalyptic setting with female models.
Yeah, and then they run up to you and like, oh, you're a girl. Take off your shirt.
Yeah. Oh no, it would get
Shake 'em titties.
really bad, really fast.
I'm gonna lay down on the ground. I want you to crouch over me.
Yeah, shit on my chest. Shit on my chest. Steven, give me a Cleveland steamer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's probably a good idea they didn't add female models.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Cleveland steamers are the worst. And I'm like, oh, you've tried, Bob.
No.
I'm like, give me a Cleveland steamer, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the worst. I'm like, really, Bob?
No. Speaking from experience.
Speaking of
know,
which, we
it's
gotta
not so much steamy as it is just warm.
you gotta lay down lots of plastic, and you're all right.
Yeah.
Nice, clean up.
Get a top.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break because it is 9 o'clock, and when we come back, we'll talk about more video games. I'm presuming we'll talk about some news and all that kind of good stuff. You're watching Cocktail Time live here at 4Player Network. We'll be back in about 10 minutes later. Everybody, we are back. Welcome back to Cocktail Time Live here at 4Play Network. Hope you all enjoyed the beautiful face of J52 once again. I think every week I'm going to find another picture of J52 and put it up during the break. Make sure you all stick in and tune in. I want to thank everybody for watching us live here tonight at 4pp.tv. Especially want to thank our subscribers tonight. People like Toostcast, people like J52, who is there? People like Victor Zunes, people like Locked Username and MGS2 Master. We do thank you all for subscribing. It is one of the main things that keeps the lights on, the doors open here. But we want to thank you all for coming out and watching us. If you cannot subscribe, we do ask that you maybe subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doing so is completely free. You can find us up on YouTube at 4Player Podcast. I think on YouTube the number 4 is all drawn out, F-O-U-R. But once again, thanks all for coming out and watching us live. We do this every Friday night at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock Central. And it is good to watch us live because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what part of J52 you'll find when you watch us live. You really gotta pay attention, you know?
Cherish every part.
Every part. Much like the Indians, you have to use every part of the J52. Every single part of the J52. Who was in chat, by the way? It's good to see you.
Yes, he is.
Good to see you. All right, what else have we been playing? I mean, I'm trying to think of what else I'm playing. It's basically been Rust, and I played some Battlefield 4 tonight, and that's kind of been it. Like, I'm waiting for the new games for the PlayStation 4 to come out, and it's taking a while because we've had delays. Watch Dogs got delayed. People are currently...
I think the only really major release coming in the next few weeks is Thief. That's about it.
Well, there's
coming out.
Yeah, Thief is coming out this month, February, end of February. And I'm excited about that. There was a thing that came out today, and I didn't watch it, but I saw on Twitter a couple of people posting about it, and apparently in the new Thief, you can put the settings to like hardcore classic Thief that has permadeath and takes away the entire HUD. One of the things
permadeath?
Permadeath.
So you have to play through it in one life.
Yes, it's like a roguelike at that point.
Interesting.
Which will be...
that's not classic Thief.
No, I'm just saying, like hard Thief, you know? Whatever you want to call it. Now,
I'm fine with minimal hub. I mean, they actually just had the gem, and that was it. That's all you could really look at.
Right. So, we'll see. I'm excited for that. But, there's, I guess, like, Basement Crawl is coming out, and there was a trailer for that, and it looked kind of neat through the CGI, but then, like, I saw some gameplay today, and Basement Crawl basically looks like if the Insane Clown Posse made Bomberman.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's not. It's a Bomberman clone, but it's all like dark and spooky, and there's circusy people. So it's like ICP Bomberman, basically, is what it is.
Seriously, that's a big release on the PS4.
Well, that's one of the only releases for the PS4. So they're kind of like, hey, we're getting a new game.
It's a clone.
We're getting a new game. I tell you, I love the PS4, but I'm a little disappointed about what they've had to offer the first couple of months the game's been on the market. There has not been very much. They had their few launch titles, and it's been dry. It's been really dry. Yeah. Don't Starve is great, but I mean, it's been dry. And it's like, oh, come on.
That was on PC before, really.
Yeah, I know. And every time there's a PSN update on the blog, I'm like, oh, come on. And it's like, oh, bunch of stuff for PS3, but nothing for PS4. And it's like, oh, come on, dude. It's like, I know what they're doing, and they don't want to, completely like make the PS3 go away, but they need to seriously work on getting some of this PSN content that's already available for the PS3 over to the PS4. Like that needs to happen.
It's kind of weird that they don't.
Well,
can you buy it once, and if it's available on both systems, can you buy it once and have it available on both?
If it's available on both, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
So there's cross-buy.
Your PSN is pretty much for the no. If you buy, so it depends. If you say you got Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the PS3, right? And you want it on the PS4, it's not a cross-buy. But it's only
it's because it's a different
right,
version.
Right, but it's only $10. So a lot of these people have like upgrade. Yeah. So it's
There's an upgrade pack. Oh, that's better. That's much better than having to buy it all.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm completely fine with that.
A lot of times you don't have to buy it all over again. It's like $10. I think Battlefield 4 is the same thing. If you bought Battlefield 4 for the PS3 and then you buy a PS4, it's Battlefield 4 the PS4 is $10, which is a great way to do it, I think.
Yeah, but I think that was only like a limited time upgrade plan. So I think that's already over, actually.
I don't
really?
think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's you're an X-bot, dude. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Is that what we're resorting to, man?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't.
I know you X-bot people are with your fanboy shit. You know.
You're just jealous of Titanfall.
Maybe a little bit.
Admit it.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Well, I don't know. 6 versus 6. I don't know, man. That's next gen.
Team total.
What is this? Is it 720? What is it, 720p?
I've got so many more P's over here on my PS4.
Yeah, my PS4's got double the P's. It's got PP. I got PP all over my PS4.
So many P's.
Just slapping my PP all over the PS4. Slap, motherfucker. No, I am.
Look at them frames.
I am jealous of Titanfall. What's really funny is that everyone's talking about the 6 versus 6, but I played Titanfall a few times actually, and you don't feel like it's 6 versus 6. Like
because there's AI.
There's all this AI and there's all this shit going on. Like it does not feel like 6 versus 6. So people don't. I know people like when you on its face when you hear it, it sounds like it's like I don't know, but it is not. It's actually very exciting, and I think with more than 6 versus 6, it would be almost too much.
It'd be kind of unbalanced in a way.
You know,
it would be weird because even your Titans are characters themselves.
Yeah.
So it would just be like your map is full of giant fucking mechs.
Imagine 64 mechs all over the place. That might be kind of cool, actually. The maps would have to be like
MechWarrior Online.
Would have to be like giant Battlefield 4 maps though for that to even bother working. But there's MechWarrior. There's MechWarrior Online. Go play that.
Yeah,
you're right. But no, the 6 versus 6 is no issue. I'm telling everyone right now.
It's a design thing, and even then, it still feels very good.
Oh, it does. It does. The game is great. The game is great. I'm going to be getting it on PC, so I'll just use my.
Is it coming to PC delayed?
Yeah.
Or?
No, it's PC day one.
Yeah,
is it day one? Okay.
Yeah. The only thing it's not coming to is PS4.
Okay, then why do I keep fucking saying it was Microsoft exclusive?
Well, they bought exclusivity for the consoles.
For the consoles.
Okay, all right. So I'll probably play it on PC too.
No, I'm gonna get it on PC. It'll be cool. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into some news.
I've been playing games.
Oh shit. What have you been playing, Bob?
Bob has opinions too.
Bob has opinions too.
God, just fucking skip over me. It's only like 9:20. Right?
I already have to hear Bob's opinions twice a week now, 3 times.
God, Jesus. Yeah, all the time. I beat a game.
You beat Shadow Complex, didn't you?
I beat Shadow Complex.
Great game, isn't it?
It's a fucking awesome game.
I know. Like when you get the full suit at the end, don't you feel like you can fucking?
You don't like all that shit? It's amazing.
Yes. Shadow Complex is... It baffles me that people don't regularly talk about Shadow Complex all the time.
It's really good, and I'm glad I finally got around to finishing it. I'm really upset that it's a fucking 360 exclusive because more people need to play this goddamn game. It's good.
I think that's the reason. I think that's one of the reasons like people don't really talk about it. I mean, because it was only on one system.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't play it, but it's so good.
As a Metroidvania, they handle pacing incredibly well.
Yeah, they do.
And they handle exploring back through the levels very well. There's a lot of shortcuts that get opened up whenever you get new abilities. Like they allow you to upgrade. Like you have different types of items you can get. You have your foam gun, you have your grenades, you have your rocket launcher, and you can get upgrades for those little packs to increase the amount you can carry. When you max it out, it's infinite.
Yeah.
So when you get all the packs, you just are like, all right, now I have infinite rockets. It's like, fuck yes. You feel so powerful, and these are like scattered all through the game, and you can get to like quite a few of them. Like almost every maybe 20, 30 minutes, you're being rewarded with something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even more often than that. And there's a lot of little like secrets tucked away, and even if you don't find it, as long as you hit level 20, all of the secrets show up on your map.
Right.
Like I even got the gold guns.
Oh, you got the gold guns. I've never even got the gold guns. Maybe I did.
If you got everything, you probably got the gold guns.
Maybe I did. I haven't completed it in a very, very long time, so.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really it is hilarious for me because they're talking. It's a game where it's about a revolutionary military takeover of the United States.
Right.
And they're talking about hitting San Francisco.
It's basically Red Dawn.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna go take over San Francisco, and I'm just thinking like, what military value does San Francisco have?
None. It was
none.
Like actually, it has some supply bases in and around the city.
It does. There's a bunch of military bases around that area, and it's one of the bigger port cities out. Aside from L.A. out of the western coast, but still, like, when you have a giant flying airship, does that really matter? Like,
probably not.
It's a little weird. I mean, Ender's Game. What's the guy who wrote?
So Quality Beats is saying he never played Shadow Complex.
What?
I
Fuck.
haven't played Shadow Complex either, man.
You
Really?
sons of bitches!
You guys would fucking love this game. Why haven't you played this? It's an amazing game. You guys would love it. There's
I want to put this out real quick. This is one of the first times in Cocktail Time history where
Orson Scott Card. That's the guy that wrote it.
Where Bob was able to berate other people for not playing a game. You should mark this date down. January 24th, 2014, Bob berates other people for not playing a game.
God, like it's an amazing fucking game. If you have and Jeff, you don't have a 360 anymore. That's right, you sold it. God damn it! If you had told me before, I would have told you to play it.
Like, don't sell it until you play this game.
It's as Metroidvanias go, as in modern ones, it is probably the best.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good. It is phenomenal. I'm starting to play Guacamelee as well, and I can see like that has a lot of really, really good components to it. But it's a very different game. Like, that's the kind of the fun thing with that Metroidvania type formula is that you can have a different skin and different mechanics on it, and it can still be a Metroidvania. Mm-hmm. And you can just have the same style of gated progression, the same upgrade systems, character progression, traversal abilities, shortcuts, very dynamic, map that kind of, it's an open world map, but you can only access certain areas, and then having, all these kind of really crazy shortcuts open up through abilities or through weapons or whatnot, and it's really, really well done. Like, it's amazing how well that game makes you feel fucking powerful. Yeah. When you go through it, like you start off and you're like, I'm a weak bastard, I guess I'm somewhat capable. I can handle myself. But then as you keep going through the game, and we were talking about acquiring the suit, which is kind of like this augmentation suit. There's different parts of the suit that you get through the game. It's all piecemeal, and you get different abilities, and eventually you start to feel like a motherfucking badass. You do. Like a real badass. Yeah, it's just it's amazing. It's really good. It makes you the curve is almost perfect. Yeah. With how they scale that, like it's just. I know people will talk about pacing in games, and it's kind of a nonsensical term, but this game is just they do it right. Yeah. Like when you play through it and you feel like you get the upgrades at the right time, you feel more powerful at the right time, you get you have more damage, you have better guns at the right time. Like it is done really well. Right. And it pisses me off that the script and everything for Shadow Complex 2 is written and finished, but they're not making it. Yeah. Well, so why aren't they making it? I don't know the story. Funding, I'm guessing it was because if they had a developer and they had the money for it, there's no fucking reason they shouldn't make it. They need to kickstart that shit. If they want to get it off the ground, they kickstart it, and I'm sure people would give them all their money for that. Everybody that's played it.
Who's the developer? You have to remind. It's been so long. Who's the developer, and what have they worked on?
Shadow Complex.
What are they doing now?
Frictional.
No, not frictional.
No. It's coming up. I saw Friction on there.
Chair Entertainment.
Chair Entertainment.
Chair? Right.
Yeah.
What are they doing now? What are they?
Infinity Blade.
Yep.
So they're working for Epic then.
Oh no, I was looking for Shadow Complex Missile Friction Dampener. That's why I got the.
So they're working for Epic Games at this point.
Unreal 3, yeah.
Well, no, they
use
use UE3 to make the Infinity Blade games, but I don't think they're directly.
They licensed the engine.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I thought.
Oh
Infinity...
no, they're a subsidiary now.
They're a subsidiary of Epic now. Yeah. They need to do something bigger than Infinity Blade. They need to do another big game. You know what I was talking about today? Was it today? It was yesterday. I think I was at my day job, and I was thinking, man, you know what I really want? You know what I really want? I know it sounds horrible. I really want a next-gen Gears of War.
I kind of see why you would want that, yeah.
I really loved Gears of War 3. And I'll tell you, one of the best things I love about Gears of War is not only is it beautiful and the gameplay is really refined and really well done, but I just love the way they handle cooperative gameplay. You know,
I played Gears of War, but I don't know if I played the third one.
The third one's really good. I think it's the best.
I played through a lot of them.
It's drop in, drop out is seamless to where sometimes you don't even realize the AI is stopped and you actually have a human partner in it at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't come with a loading bar saying somebody's now loading. They pop in and boom, they're right with you.
Yeah,
it's asymmetric and it's purely organic.
Yeah, no, it's really great. It's done really, really well, you know. And the arcade version of the game is really great when you're just, the points are coming out of people and stuff. It's really fun. It's designed really well. And I was thinking, man, I would really love a next-gen version, a next-gen Gears of War. And who knows if that's even going to happen? Because I know, I mean, we can say Cliffy B is not part of Epic anymore. But I think I don't know how much involvement Cliffy B has actually had in Gears at that point, at that Gears 3 point. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't say. He was, one of the upper guys, director and stuff. I'm sure he tried stuff out. I'm not sure how much design he had his hands in. I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't realize if him not being part of Epic really affects, them making another one. I mean, I know the Gears of War after 3 that no one played, the one that People Can Fly made. Regiment, no one really played that. I mean, that was kind of a bomb. And partly it was a bomb, I think, because the story was done. I mean, Gears of War was a trilogy, and it sort of opened up and it sort of closed out pretty evenly. So I think people are happy with that story being done. I feel like if they were going to do another Gears of War, they'd have to get totally new characters, a totally new angle on the whole story and whatnot. And even if they don't do a Gears of War, take those mechanics, do a different game that uses that cover-to-cover mechanic, drop-in, drop-out sort of thing. That's really cool, I don't know. I was just thinking about that yesterday, and I'd really like something like that.
Yeah, and I think I played through all the Gears games within a month.
You know what it is? Like the design is really smooth and really good, and from a pure video game design standpoint, I don't give a shit if you don't like the story or you don't like the characters or whatever else. From a purely game design standpoint, they're really good.
Well, from going, because I played all of them, 1, 2, and 3, within a month or something, really close together.
Yeah.
And it was consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The design was very consistent. They didn't change a lot of shit at all between the different games.
Right.
It was just the same formula, just maybe a little polishing here or there. It wasn't a big jump between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was kind of surprising.
The jump from Gears 1 to Gears 2 was really about upping the scale a little, showing you background enemies and stuff, putting more stuff on screen. And what I personally really enjoyed about that sequel was the sound design, because they completely remade most of the weapon sounds and just much of the environmental stuff. I mean, it sounded really fucking good. And then going from Gears 2 to Gears 3, it was all about this new enemy palette and changing up how you approach cover mechanics.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, so the original story that I heard, I think it was from, I read something that interview with Cliffy B, I think, was that he originally got the idea for Gears of War from watching paintball matches.
Yeah.
And watching how people would run from cover to cover by playing paintball. And it was like, wow, there aren't any games that do this. And we should make a game that does this sort of thing, that works on this sort of cover to cover mechanic. And that's how they came up with the original idea.
Yeah, they have actually for Tara's birthday we went and played paintball. We probably mentioned this, and I can totally see how that would be the inspiration for Gears of War.
Right.
And fuck those 12-year-olds. Fuck them.
What,
Fuck 'em all.
on Gears of War or playing paintball?
Both.
No, just 12-year-olds in general. Just fuck them all.
Chris,
Yeah.
would you mind having a seat over here?
I'm not in that. God damn it.
Did you bring the Mike's Hard Lemonade and condoms?
Why do we keep going back to that fucking show?
Because I love that show. That show is so good. It's such a great show. It's such a great show. You know, there's on YouTube. There's this. I don't know who put it together, but they put together like these 3 hours of To Catch a Predators, right? And every time Chris Hansen does his entrance, oh, so what are you doing with those condoms? You know, the big entrance he makes, they pause the video, and they do a little jazz riff, and then on the last chord of the jazz riff, it does a still of the Predator person looking very upset and scared. And then it continues on. And it happens every time. And there's no explanation. It just happens every time. It's like, oh, would you mind having a seat over there? It's like, doom, 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 doom. And then it goes on again. And it's every time it makes me smile. Every time it makes me smile.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's fun. There's this girl I've been hanging out with who also really loves To Catch a Predator. And we're always like, you know, we're always joking about, oh, let's hang out tomorrow night. And she's like, okay, to make sure you bring the Mike's Hard Lemonade and the condoms. I'm like, okay.
We'll watch To Catch a Predator and
She just really likes to
fill
catch
each other up.
She likes To Catch a Predator as well. We were thinking of going for Halloween and me dressed as Chris Hansen and her as like a 12-year-old girl.
That's not creepy.
I know. Well, you guys saw that you got that. So the girl that I showed you the picture of her, and she's wearing the Hooters T-shirt. That's for little kids that says "Future Hooters Girl."
Oh yeah.
God, I remember seeing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I'm talking.
yeah,
that's what I'm
that
talking
girl.
about. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember that now. Ugh.
It's okay. She's 29. It's all right.
She's legal. She's legal.
She's not 12. She's not 12. Dating when you're older is weird, dude. It gets strange because we have conversations sometimes where I'm like, oh, I remember when that song came out. It came out in, this year. I was like I was a freshman in college when this came out. And she's like, I was in middle school.
I was 2.
I was in middle school. And I'm like, well, I guess I could just some Mike's Hard Lemonade and some condoms.
Yeah, I definitely get the age gap is pretty.
Well, it's funny is that the age gap doesn't mean so much as you get older.
No, not as much.
But you can then joke. The jokes are funny. It's like oh yeah, I was in 5th grade when you were.
But yeah, it's that reference of being like, oh yeah, no, I totally remember watching Ren and Stimpy on MTV, and they're like, it was on MTV.
I know.
It wasn't just reality shows. It's like, no, they showed a bunch of really weird cartoons like fucking Aeon Flux. You mean the movie? No.
Liquid Television. No, Liquid Television.
No.
Not ringing a bell.
Okay.
Then if you want to get really old, you can pull out how The Simpsons used to be on the Tracy Ullman show.
Oh god.
Remember that? So The Simpsons, way back, if you can remember a time before The Simpsons were a cartoon on the Tracy Ullman show. I know, lots of blank stares here. You know what Tracy Ullman is, right?
Yes.
Okay, Tracy Ullman had a show, and between the commercials, she would have commercial breaks. and The Simpsons were like a throw-off, like thing, like cartoon that would happen during the Tracy Ullman show, and then that became its own thing.
Yeah, they used to be like really short little bit things.
Yeah, no, exactly, and then they became their own thing. Now, when I say like I remember this, like I was a little kid. I was a really little kid when this happened, and I have this memory. So it's not like I was in
it, but I'm pretty sure I didn't actually see it.
I did see it, but I have like 5 years or 6 years on you, or 5 years or something like that.
I'm turning 31 next month.
Then I have 5 years on you, I guess. Yeah. That 5 years means a lot when you're a little kid, because that goes from like not remembering anything to like being a teenager. Basically, there's a lot of growth that happens in that 5 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just remember, like, growing up that my older sister, really
Reagan's like cocktail time, old people speak edition.
Yeah.
I remember when I had a crush on Judy Tenuta and accordion.
Well, I remember my older sister, one of my older sisters, being really into New Kids on the Block.
Well, I remember New Kids on the Block. I mean, Jesus, that was I was
early 90s.
I was in
No, it was early 90s. It was late 80s.
No, that was early 90s. That was 1993 or 1994 because I was in 8th grade. And
No.
New Kids. And I remember MC Hammer and Too Legit to Quit. I can still do the the thing like what is it? It's like Too Legit to Quit. I can still do that with my hand because I did it so much when I was a little kid and I thought I was black. I didn't think I was black. I just had a lot of black.
1988.
I had a lot of black.
Like 1988.
I just had a lot of black friends when I was growing up. I lived on a dead end in Jersey, so I had lots of black friends. One of my best friends growing up was a guy named Sharif.
Oh yeah, You Got the Right Stuff, 1988.
Yeah, Sharif was great. Me and Sharif used to hang out all the time, and then we kind of like lost track. And I think he became a gangbanger for a while with a giant fro, and then we actually reconnected on Facebook, and we're Facebook friends now. Me and Sharif, we're like best friends. We were like 6 or 7 years old, and we found each other on Facebook. It's like, oh my God, it's Sharif. It's like, oh, it's Joseph. It's very funny.
Is he okay now?
No, he's
no
good.
longer a gangbanger?
He's no longer a gang. I don't know if he was maybe he was a little bit of a gangbanger. I don't really know the entire story. I don't want to speak for Sharif. I wouldn't dare speak for Sharif in this juncture. But we were best friends. We used to hang out constantly, and it was really funny how we kind of like, reconnected through the Facebooks and stuff. But that's how I do all my MC Hammer stuff and whatnot.
Oh, I remember when
friends.
When all that shit was going on. Oh man, I feel really.
It was a crazy
time.
It was a crazy time. It was a crazy.
A lot of weird hair, a lot of really ugly socks.
Salt and Pepper was really big. Push it real good. Oh, it's a great song. It was a simpler time. Now I have One Direction, which is kind of like exactly like New Kids on the Block, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically just a new generation, new faces, new pop band.
Every generation has had their sort of boy bands all the way back to the 30s and 40s. So it's something that has always worked and something that has always kind of just happened.
The Monkees were a boy band.
No, the Monkees were totally a boy band. Yeah. No, the Monkees were completely 100% the 1960s version of like New Kids on the Block or One Direction. That's what they were.
Yep.
Yeah. That I hadn't thought about that, but you are 100% right. And I used to watch, when I was a little kid, I used to watch the Monkees TV show on Nickelodeon.
They had a TV show on Nickelodeon?
You didn't know the Monkees had a TV show?
I knew they had a TV show, but I didn't think...
No. So Nickelodeon used to replay...
Are you talking about Nick at Night?
It was Nick at Night.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was
thinking. Used to replay Tom.
How old are you?
I'm 65 years old. I look good.
My parents probably watched that
What the fuck? I killed the Miracle of God in the Green Mile. I'm actually 85. I'm Tom Hanks in the Green Mile. I'm actually 85 years old. And here's my curse for killing a miracle of God.
No, that's Zach.
That's Zach? Is that Zach?
He sounds like Tom Hanks, so.
Maybe.
Have you heard him talk?
I've heard him talk, but I'm not sure if he sounds like Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to hear them together.
Wait, Zach?
Yeah.
No, he's our Alan Wake.
That's another game I have to play through, yeah.
God damn it, Bob.
Like Shadow Complex.
I never finished Alan Wake.
I have all of it. I think I have Alan Wake.
You know what it is, Alan Wake? I get really tired of the combat. All the combat's the fucking same. Too much combat, and I'm dreading like the final boss fights that they just throw more dudes at you. That put your flashlight up and then shoot him, and put your flashlight up and shoot him.
Oh man, but the fucking atmosphere in that game, man.
I
Especially
know,
when you're lost in the middle of the woods.
Listen.
When
I hear ya.
enemies could spawn at any fucking second.
I hear you. But the combat there's too much combat, and it's too much the same. And you know what? And I sound like an asshole because I was just talking about how I want a new Gears of War, and a lot of the Gears of War combat's kind of the same. It's not like it's different. It's a nuance, Like Gears of War, there's different cover you can take, different angles, you can flank enemies, and all that kind of stuff that keeps it interesting. With Alan Wake, all you're doing is putting your flashlight on dudes until they do their little poofy sparkle thing, and then shooting them, and then dodging, and that's kind of it. And it happens a lot, and it happens all the time. And I just want Alan Wake just to fucking relax for a minute. Just relax. Like, the pacing is way too intense in Alan Wake. Like, relax and just, let the atmosphere and story happen a bit, It's way too combat-heavy for the type of game it is. You know what I want in Alan Wake? I want puzzle-solving in Alan Wake. I want more puzzle-solving and exploration in Alan Wake.
There actually was a little bit of puzzle solving in
a
the later
little
chapters of the game.
A little bit, but not enough. I want more puzzle solving, exploration, and less combat in Alan Wake. I think it's way too combat heavy for the type of game it presents itself as. So, just me though. Just me. Hey, just me.
You didn't play any of the DLC either, did you?
Well, yeah, but from what I'm hearing,
more of the same.
It's the DLC is really combat heavy.
No, not at all. In fact, there's quite a bit of puzzle solving that you have to do in there.
Yeah, people were just saying
there's an environmental puzzle it's this rotating building that you're having to walk through as it's turling like a fucking tilt-a-whirl or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
And you have to figure out what routes to go into in order to get.
Yeah, but you're talking about one puzzle.
And there's also sections where words will appear in the world, and you have to shine your light on them and figure out which one you have.
No, we're losing Chris.
Use in order to advance.
There he is.
I'm here.
He's fine.
I lost.
I guess we're losing Joseph.
Lost it for a second. Okay, there's two puzzles.
I'm just saying, I had fun with that game. It's a really fucking good game, and I think you're giving it the short end of the stick.
Maybe I am. Okay, 9:50. I want to hear some news. Give me some fucking news.
Okay. All right. Well.
Wait, I think I have news. Wait, hold on. Wait. Do I have news music? I thought I saw news music here.
Did we want to talk about the? What happened? Why is it quiet?
Talk about the what? Talk about the what?
The new Shadows of Mordor?
Oh, yes. Let's talk about, well, that's part of the... Can we say that's part of news?
That's kind of... I mean, they released the new trailer today, which is why everybody's talking about it.
Okay, let's talk about that.
They showed off 8 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
I have not seen this yet.
Well, let me just save it for you. It's Assassin's Creed. It is 95% Assassin's Creed with a hint of the Arkham series combat.
So was Assassin's Creed.
It looks like, it looks a lot like Assassin's Creed.
So what happened was...
It's not just... It doesn't just look like Assassin's Creed. It's got gameplay mechanics, ripped straight out of it. Like the way the character moves, the way he interacts and climbs in the environment. Even the rope... pulleys that would go between buildings in Assassin's Creed, that's in there.
So I know I read that one of the designers or coders of Assassin's Creed 2 went to his Twitter and actually said, "Hey, this looks like my code. What the fuck?" Or something similar.
I would not blame him because this is Assassin's Creed Mordor Edition.
Well, if you look at the video very closely, the guy is walking, and very much the gameplay section. He's walking, and there's a section of fence. It covers it's right in the middle of the screen, and he's walking towards the fence. He could easily go around it, but at this one, he like kind of juts over and then jumps over the fence, like just while he's still pressing forward. It looks like, and it feels like there's that kind of the traversal type mechanic of Assassin's Creed where you just kind of push a direction and then you climb and you do shit automatically. Like that seems like it's part of this game, just from what we've seen so far.
Here's my question. Do you have to eavesdrop on any hobbits?
No hobbits.
Do you have to follow goblin-type creatures without them finding you or seeing you?
Possibly.
They did demonstrate that. No.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah,
so far,
I would not be surprised.
So far, I like it better than Assassin's Creed. Do you actually assassinate people?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
Okay, well that's not like Assassin's Creed at all. What are they talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the big thing like they're talking about is how the game evolves and you have nemesis. This idea of like there are enemies you'll keep running into, like depending on your actions in the game. And they build it up to be this big dynamic thing. I don't think it's that dynamic from what they've shown.
It usually isn't.
No. I think it's very limited. Obviously, it's limited to what they can do with the amount of time they have. But with the marketing bullshit they're talking about, they make it seem like it's much grander than it actually is, from at least what I can tell. It's like the guy you're going to be tracking per map is going to change based on what you did previously. Mm-hmm. He may not appear in the same part of the map. He may not appear doing the same thing, but it's in general going to be pretty much the same path through there. It's just changed a little, just a little bit.
Right.
Like you may have let this one guy go previously, or kick the shit out of him, and then you decide, I'm going to let him go, and then he's like, he gets all like angry and goes into human slave. He's a human slaver, and he's going to appear on this mission. He's going to appear at this part of the map doing this thing. If you chose that option, like it's always going to be that thing, or it's going to be someone that maybe looks differently, but if you chose the same thing, they just changed the models out a little bit or something like that. Like I think it's gives the illusion of choice.
Reborn is saying that you even have eagle vision in this game.
Yeah, there is eagle vision in the game, but for once it seems actually fucking useful. Because it does highlight enemies and allies in the area.
Well, the problem with eagle vision, it's too useful.
Well,
yeah.
For a fucking... as a Lord of the Rings nerd, what kind of pisses me off about this is they're going with movie canon, not book canon. And they're going with...
Because they're going for the larger audience, that's why.
Right, like this is Wraith vision. You go into the Wraith world, it's like there was no Wraith world. Like when Frodo put the ring on, he just disappeared. That was it. There was no Wraith world he appeared in. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm in an entirely new dimension. I'm gonna go wander around. People can't see me. It's just like that doesn't exist. That doesn't fucking exist. Like there's no Wraith world. It was just he just disappeared. That was it. It was just a visual effect they used in the fucking movie for people to understand. Like he can't be seen now. Like it's just.
Bob,
that's really... It doesn't make any sense.
Bob, why are you being misogynist and refusing the existence of a Wraith culture?
I refuse to acknowledge...
Why are you refusing to acknowledge the existence of a Wraith culture?
It's a choice!
The existence of a Wraith culture in this society.
You are not born a Wraith!
I haven't seen the videos yet, so I can't really say... what it is or what it isn't, but I don't know. You know me, I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed, but I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed for some very particular reasons. I have my own particular things I don't like about Assassin's Creed, and if this can be, Assassin's Creed without the shit that I don't like about Assassin's Creed, I can get into that, but then again, I'm not too happy about an Assassin's Creed copy just with a Lord of the Rings skin put on it either.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, all they really demonstrated was the Nemesis system and the combat. I'm not really getting a feel for like the overall scope of the game. I mean, it does display like the hierarchy of the troll and orc fucking armies, but I'm not really getting a sense for where the story is going to go. I'm not getting a sense for how open the level design is.
From what they showed, it looks like it's mission based.
Yeah,
like it's just a mission map.
God, I want a truly open world assassin game where all of your targets are doing stuff in the world all the time and just doing things, and you go in the world and you just need to do stuff.
Basically, like an Elder Scrolls.
Like you know what I want? Like an Elder Scrolls mixed with sort of a Hitman sort of thing with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Dude, fucking play like
and you know what?
Assassin's Guild back in like Daggerfall or Morrowind.
And you know what? I know that would be a son of a bitch to make. I know it would be hard to make. I know it would take a lot of money and it would take a lot.
They already made it though.
I know. You know what? You know what's so weird? I've been watching a lot of Daggerfall recently. I've been watching a lot of Daggerfall playthroughs.
Morrowind too. Morrowind's really good. They do a lot of that shit really
I know,
well.
but going back to like Daggerfall, I mean, the Daggerfall is such a big, giant, amazing game. There's so much cool shit in that game. The fact that like everyone needs, if you're listening to this podcast, after this podcast, I want you to go to YouTube and watch some playthroughs of Daggerfall and really pay attention to the shit that happens in that game. Like, when you there's fast travel in Daggerfall, but in Daggerfall, the fast travel, you have all these options. It's like, how do you want to travel? On the road? Not on the road? Do you want to camp at night? Where do you want to camp? In a town or in the forest? And all of your choices determine if you get into conflict or not, or how long it takes you. There's all of these options about how you want to travel. When you speak to people, there's like, if you speak to someone with your sword out, they'll be more aggressive toward you. If you put your sword away, the dialogue changes. There's different ways you can talk to people. There's literally checkboxes like, how do you want to speak to this person? Do you want to be hostile or nice or however you want to be? And that changes everything in the game. There's so much shit in Daggerfall that happens, that you can do, that affects the outcome. It's mind-boggling. It makes Skyrim seem trite in comparison. It makes Skyrim seem, like completely graphic-heavy, but hollow on the inside. And I love Skyrim, but next to a game like Daggerfall, it is fucking hollow inside. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, it is. I mean, just look at what they have, and this is not fucking streamlining. This is taking shit out. This is removing stuff because people can't handle it, or gamers don't want that many options or whatever. Or since like people are on a console primarily, or used to be primarily, like they don't want these options or can't handle these options. It's really weird. But it's like there's so much shit in Daggerfall. It's amazing. It's unreal. And you're right, Bob. I mean, it's like I want more of that kind of stuff. And I know I haven't gone back and played Morrowind. I've actually played more Daggerfall than I've played of Morrowind. And I need to go back and get a copy of Morrowind and mod it up with modern graphics and play.
There's some good mods in there that'll make it look real good.
Prideswine, I did 2 way back Wednesday with Daggerfall already. Look it up.
Yes.
I did too. There's some great... Look up ARM Arguments. ARM Arguments is one of my favorite clips ever. It's one of my most brilliant moments in the history of 4-player podcast. Daggerfall, ARM Arguments. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I got to play more Morrowind. I really do. I saw recently there was a new engine called... Oh, fuck, what is it? X something. It's a new engine, and they're taking old games and porting them to this new engine. And Dark Forces is on there, Blood is on there, and Daggerfall is on there. Chris, you're making noises. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
you're just making noises just to make noises.
No, I'm a little buzzed right now. So
I'm like there's this because I was like, well, there's this engine called X engine or something, and you're like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about your X.
Oh yeah. No, Kashira has it. It's Dagger XL, which is in development right now, which is going to upgrade Daggerfall with some new graphics and stuff. That apparently. But anyway,
Isn't there like a Morrowind mod coming for Skyrim?
I don't know. No, well, there's DLC for Skyrim, which is pretty much a Morrowind DLC.
No, there's like a complete remake of Morrowind coming for Skyrim.
I don't know. Maybe. I would hope so.
It's a community thing. I think I saw a video the other day.
That would be great. That would be as long as they keep everything. Keep everything. Keep all the stuff inside. Keep it all inside. Don't streamline it. Don't take anything out. Just fucking do it. I really hope Fallout 4 does not go the way of Skyrim. I might want my big. Let me lay this out. Let me lay this out. Let me just get it out here. My big worry. Hold on, let me take a drink. That's the stuff. My big worry at this moment is that Fallout 4 is getting the streamlined treatment that Skyrim got, that the Elder Scrolls series got. That when we went from Oblivion to Skyrim, they're like, you don't need all these skills. Intelligence and wisdom? Why are they the same thing? That kills me. When they said, like, intelligence and wisdom are not the same thing. And any RPG or D&D player worth his salt knows they're not the same thing. And when you say, why are they the same thing, that makes me want to shove a carrot in my dick and then stick it in a rabbit hole. It really does.
And the carrot, like as a plugged dick.
Like take a dick, take my carrot, take a carrot, and shove it all the way in my urethra, and then lay down on the ground with my dick dangling in a rabbit hole. That's what it makes me want to do. Because, God damn it, who says that? Who comes out and says, intelligence and wisdom, we just made them the same thing? They're not the same thing. They're obviously not the same thing. And for 30 years, people who've been playing Dungeons and Dragons have known they're not the same thing. And they're not the same thing. And stop making them the same goddamn thing. Because they're not the same goddamn thing. Don't take out perception. Don't remove perception. Why would you remove perception? If you remove perception, it fucks up everything else. It fucks up everything else. Why would you remove perception as a skill? That's fucking retarded. Fucking retarded.
Would you be fine with them just basing out Fallout 3, just letting that be the standard and going forward?
Yes, I'd be fine with that. That's my fear. My fear is that Fallout 4 is going to be streamlined like Skyrim. I don't want that. The idea is the fact that these are RPG players who like these games, and they like their shit. And it makes sense for there to be different types of skill sets. They're there for a reason. MGS2 Master, I'm glad you like my ripped-up headphones. I'm glad you like my ripped-up headphones. Hey, if you do not like my ripped-up headphones, you can buy me a new pair.
Donate.
You are completely welcome to buy me new headphones if you're being snarky. MGS2 Master has been very snarky over this past week. I'm going to call out MGS2 Master. I love MGS2 Master. He's been with us for a very long time. But he's been very snarky lately. I think he needs new medication. Or
yeah.
But he's here, and I want to thank him for watching. Yeah. But anyway, I don't.
More news topics we got to go.
One, I'm not done yet. I'm ranting and raving. Allow me to rant and rave. The fact is that I want Fallout pure. I don't want it to be streamlined like the way Skyrim was, and I'm really afraid they're going to do that, because as I said before, the fact is that when you streamline skills and you streamline skill sets, I love you too, MGS2 Master. Chat's a little behind, excuse me. When you streamline stuff, all you do is you hobble other parts of the game. Like, you can make an argument that streamlining the skill sets of Skyrim pretty much destroyed the loot system in Skyrim. Completely destroyed the loot system in Skyrim because there was nothing they could do with the loot anymore. There was nothing they could do with the loot anymore when they brought everything down to 3 skills. You just can't do it. Just can't do it. Anyway, I'm done. All right, next news item.
Well, let me just say this.
Take a swig of vodka.
I don't think you have much to worry about with Fallout 4, because with Skyrim they were having to make a whole new engine, and so they naturally had to budget what they could make. But they're not having to make an engine this time around. So I think that they might be able to allow a lot more room for, stuff.
I just drank a lot of vodka.
So is that what that sound was?
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
I'm all right. So yeah, maybe not. You know, they always do engine updates when they have new games. If you think of the difference in the engine from Oblivion to Fallout 3, it's a world of difference. You know what I mean? So it makes me excited. For how the engine's going to look from Skyrim to Fallout 4 on new systems. I think it's going to be impressive. But Bethesda has to remember one thing. They cannot animate for shit. So stop putting the camera in goddamn third person. It ruins the entire fucking thing. I'm sorry. I love you, Bethesda. I love the animators that work there. I know you work hard. But you're not very good. I'm sorry. It's better. But putting shit in third person kills it. Doesn't need to be in third person. If I turn into a goddamn werewolf, it doesn't need to be in third person. Don't make me go into third person. In Daggerfall, I was in first person when I was a werewolf. You can be a werewolf in Daggerfall. You're running around, you're jumping over goddamn buildings, and it's fucking awesome. What, you want to be a werewolf in Skyrim? Oh, sorry, you got to be in third person. You want to ride a horse in Skyrim? You got to be third person. Why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. In Daggerfall, I could be first person on a horse. It was awesome. Who gives a shit? Do not put the shit in third person. Make it an option. If you got such a goddamn hard-on for third person, if all you want to do is get a giant wall and paint third person on it in spray paint and put a little hole and stick your dick in there for fucking 3 nights and 7 days, then fucking go for it. Do it all day if you want. But don't make me go into third person, okay? Paint your wall, go into your bathroom stall, put third person over the glory hole, and let some, cracked out meth bitch suck you off. But don't make me go in third person. Don't do it. Don't shove your third person AIDS shit on my dick. Just don't do it. I don't need it. I don't want it.
It's going to get harder because they're trying to cater to...
It's going to get harder because their dick is in a hole that says third person on it. That's what they do. I'm sure if you go to Maryland, you go to Bethesda, ZeniMax in Maryland, you go into their bathroom, they're in their stall, there's a little glory hole, and it says third person. And you stick
No, that's the second glory hole.
No, granted,
you stick your dick in there.
I'm no artist. I can draw stick figures, and that's about it. But logically, if you're an artist and you've spent thousands upon thousands of hours drawing, creating. No. Let me finish.
If you spend thousands upon thousands of hours working on those animations, you should be fired.
No. Let me finish. Okay.
Finish.
If I'm an artist and I've spent thousands upon thousands of hours of making hundreds of different types of armor, of weapons, of just designing just this plethora of content, and you're making this for a first-person game, and you don't allow or provide an opportunity for the audience to actually fucking see it in any instance other than just buying it at a fucking merchant, I'd be a little upset. I'm just saying, third person, that's fine. That's fine. Okay? I don't have a problem with it.
Let me ask you a question, Chris.
Yes.
You can ride a horse in Skyrim, right?
Yes.
How come no one else can?
That's not an artist problem. That's an animator problem.
Think about that! How come no one else can? In all of Skyrim, you're the only the Dragonborn can buy a horse and ride it. There are horse stables. There are horse stables everywhere. But you're the only one who can ride a horse, apparently. Because you're Dragonborn. Every horse stable is for you. Every single one. I bet you never thought about that before.
A horse before. They just fucking built them because they're like, someone's going to need it eventually.
Think about that. In Skyrim, you're the only one who ever rides a horse. And there are horse stables everywhere. It's a problem. It's the problem?
So, news.
Oh, okay. What's the other news?
Okay. Since we are running out of time. So, if you have ever had the slightest slimmer of hope that Star Wars 1313 may, eventually become a full-fledged product,
It's dead. It's dead. I know.
yeah, that's not happening because Disney has allowed the trademark for Star Wars 1313 to lapse, which means that they both have zero interest in making the product, as well as the fact that the trademark is now out in the open.
What if we buy the trademark?
Ooh.
It's
Are
open.
Are you gonna take Tetropolis and put the Star Wars 1313
No.
logo on
This
it?
is going to be our Star Wars MOBA.
No, but our Star Wars
Oh.
Nova. You just hold on to that.
Yeah.
No, so what's really funny about that is, so it was E3 either last year or the year before that, and we got invited.
2012.
2012, last year. No, year before that. We got invited to see Star Wars 1313, and it was a really cool presentation. And they put us in this little box that was all Star Warsy, and we saw it. It was really cool. And, basically the fact it was a tech demo, that was what it was. But I loved the feel of it. It looked amazing. Like, basically, what I saw of Star Wars 1313 looked better than anything I've seen on the PS4 so far. I mean, it was that good. I mean, it was crisp and clear and really cool looking. And it's timing. It's the fact that they were in production, and then LucasArts got shut down. They got bought by Disney, and honestly, I don't think. You know what? I'm going to retract that. I was going to say, I don't think Disney wants to make anything that hardcore and adult. That's bullshit. Because Disney actually does make a lot of stuff that's kind of hardcore and adult. They have in the past. And in fact, Disney has connections to a lot of stuff in media that is pretty goddamn adult. They just don't talk about it. I can't give any examples at the moment, which makes me sound like a bullshitter, but maybe next show I'll bring them up. But it's true. I just think that Disney is still not really sure what they want to do with the video game space that they have. I think they're still exploring that whole thing, and I think something like Star Wars 1313 seemed a little too risky for them at the moment. I think what they're going to do is they're going to make stuff like Battlefront, which has a huge following already and has a huge clamor for already. I think DICE at EA was able to say to them, hey, look, you have an audience already for this. This is a safe bet, and they're good. I know they're talking about some more Clone Wars stuff that might happen. I think they're trying to be safe right now.
Yeah, and any project that was really close to completion, like Tiny Death Star, is getting the green light. So
1313 was hardly in production at the time. We liked what we saw. We liked the idea of it, but it was hardly anywhere at the moment. So that's why I'm not surprised.
That would have been a $100 million project, and Disney just didn't want to put money on it.
Not right now. I mean, maybe in the future we'll see something like 1313, but it's going to take a little while. Disney right now is trying to, they're trying to find the ropes with the whole like Star Wars thing. So I'm one of the people that I don't mind the Star Wars Disney merger. I think it's actually good for the series. I know it's the funny line to say that, well, it couldn't get any worse, but I think that holds a lot of weight. I think it couldn't get any worse, and Disney does some really cool stuff sometimes, and so we'll see. I mean, if anything, they have the money to make this shit cool. So there you go.
Yeah.
But well,
right.
I feel bad for the developers that were really, gunning for it and working on it, because who knows, they're probably out of a job right now.
They're desperately searching. Okay, another thing. It appears that Ubisoft has canceled the Wii U version of
that's been
Watch Dogs.
That was GameStop already came out and said that was a mistake today.
Across both America and Italy?
Yeah. No, GameStop already came out. I saw on Twitter that GameStop came out and said that was a mistake.
Ah, okay. Okay, well, never mind.
But
Never mind that news story.
wait. But here's
thank God
what?
for Wii U.
But here's the thing.
The Wii U
Wait,
is fucked right now.
Wait, here's the thing. Was it a mistake? Or was it a mistake in timing?
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? That's bullshit. You know why? Because I don't know. Never mind. I was getting something mixed up. Anyway, who knows? You know what I'm gonna say? I know what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I would not be surprised.
Okay. Well, speaking of Nintendo and their wayward ways, so we talked about it on the podcast this week, but I thought I'd bring it up again to get y'all's take, because they've started putting out some numbers, and those numbers are really bad.
You're talking about Wii U?
The Wii U specifically,
No,
yeah.
I know. I've talked a lot about this on Twitter and stuff, and me and Quality Beats had a thing back and forth about this, and I talked about this in chat during the thing. Here's the thing. I'm really for you, real hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii U is doing shitty, okay? But the Wii U does not need to do well for a Nintendo to do well, okay? The Nintendo is making their money basically on handhelds at the moment. Nintendo can stop producing consoles yesterday and still be around for 20 years simply on the strength of their handhelds and their IPs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nintendo isn't going anywhere.
This system is costing them an operating loss. It's the first time that they've had since, 10, 12 years now?
No, but there you go. You just proved my point. That they have an operating loss for the first time in 10 or 12 years. That's fine. So for the first year, in 12 years, they have an operating loss. Fuck it. They have like $1 billion in the bank. Like, they are fine. Like, the Wii U may be shitty and it might not go anywhere, but they still have the money to put out another console a generation from now if they want to. And if that one fails, maybe then they'll just concentrate on handhelds. And by then, they'll be on their, 60S? They're going to be fine. Like, everything they did this past couple of weeks, all the lamenting and the reorganization, all the we're going to do stuff, all this do this stuff, all of that is for their investors and their stockholders. They're making a big old dance and show. We're going to do a big dance and show for our stockholders so their stockholders don't, put their dicks back in their ass and get out of there. That's all that is. This is everything you're seeing Nintendo doing, all the lamenting, all the genuflecting, all of that is for the investors and the stockholders.
They're not doing a very good job because
they're making money.
Okay, so this past week they announced their revised projections for fiscal year 2014, which ends in April, okay?
Okay.
They originally predicted 9 million units sold.
I know, 2.8. 2.8.
It's downgraded to 2.8.
Yes.
But because of that announcement, their stock price went down as far as 18%. It closed the day down at 6%, which is minus $1.2 billion in market revenue.
But what is it at now?
It's not much. It's not at that number. It's lower.
What is the price of the stock right now?
Okay, I'll look it up. If I can, I'm tipsy. Right
below whatever. That doesn't mean anything. What is the price right now? You can be below whatever all the time. Microsoft can be 6% below 1,000 a share. That's still goddamn good.
Okay, it closed at 17. It's down to 16.
$16 a share.
Yeah.
That's kind of low. that is a little low.
It's going to be even worse this December at the end of the month when they announce the December sales numbers.
I will say $16 a share is a little low. But but they've this the worth of the IPs is what are we worried about here? Are we worried Nintendo's going to go away? They're going to go bankrupt? What are we worried? What are we foundationally worried about here? Because Nintendo's not going anywhere. Like, if Nintendo went Sega, they could go Sega and still be around for 100 years. Fuck
I'm
it.
not saying.
Fuck it.
I'm not
in
saying
200
Nintendo.
years, in 200 years, they'll make a new Magic the Gathering type of thing. They'll go back to cards. Fuck it. Cards are big now. Everyone loves cards, and that's Nintendo shit.
Look, I'm not saying.
All I'm saying is buy Nintendo stock right now because it's low and it's affordable.
No. Wait until the end of the fiscal year when they announce their numbers, and then buy Nintendo stock.
No. Wait. No. Buy it when it goes really low, and then when they go software, and they start selling their IPs to everybody, and everyone and their fucking cousin is killing their sister to get Zelda on their system, that's when their stock's going to go way high.
Yeah.
Way high.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not saying.
Let me tell you
Nintendo's not gonna
something.
be around in
Let me tell you something.
5, 10,
Legend
20 years.
of
I'm saying.
Legend of
all
Zelda on the PS4? Holy shit, dude.
I'm saying, yeah, they're learning from their mistakes with the Wii. They're finally realizing that, hey, it was a fucking fluke, and we're not going to get that again with a console.
I'm going to say something right now that's very important. I want you all to listen. Get closer. If you're not listening, I want you to sit down at your computer and put your ear as close to the speaker as you possibly can. Hold on. I need a drink first.
Turn down your volume.
No, I'm not going to scream. This is very, very important. Let's say, for sake of argument, that Nintendo, in 5 years, has to leave the hardware market. Okay? Let's say their IPs go on the open market. And who wants it? Correct?
Okay.
Nintendo is a Japanese company with roots in Japan. What other company has roots in Japan and has a larger install base in Japan and possibly a larger install base worldwide? I think there's a good argument. I think there's a good argument to be made that if Nintendo wants to go software based, a lot of these IPs, Mario, Zelda, will probably go to Sony and the PlayStation 4.
I call
That's what I'm
bullshit on
saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying right now. I know you would say that, Xbot. Of
No,
course
they
you would say
be
that.
Completely multi-platform because they would realize, sure, we can get more sales on a Sony platform, but if we put it on
those sweet
a fucking Xbox
Those sweet.
and a Sony, and we put it on fucking tablets and smartphones, holy shit, we can make a shit ton more money.
That's just what an Xbot would say.
Really? Fucking hate you. I swear to God, there's going to be one of these days in which you're going to envy me.
Oh, it's going to be when Titanfall comes out.
Yeah, I will. Until then, just laugh it up, motherfuckers.
Because I'll be playing on my computer all uncomfortable, and you'll be on your nice couch, like, oh, this is nice.
Oh yeah, the surround sounds pretty good. Yeah.
I know, right? Oh man, no, but it's interesting. Nintendo's not going anywhere. I think they have one more console in them, honestly.
Yeah, and there's actually been some rumors about that going around, but nobody can actually confirm it.
Oh god, they have just put out the Wii U. They don't want to get rid of that yet. They have some good games coming out for the Wii U. They have some stuff coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. The fact is that here's the best argument for the Wii U, and it's an argument made I think by Brad Simons, and I think made by Jeff, and I think made by a couple other people on YouTube, which is that any game or 90% of the games you get on Xbox One and PS4, you'll be able to get on PC. None of the games you can get on the Wii U will be on the PC, for the most part. Like, first-party Wii U games, like your Marios, your Zeldas, your Donkey Kongs, your Danky Kangs, all that shit.
Bayonetta 2.
Your Bayonetta 2, that's all going to be exclusive to the Wii U. So that's your reason for getting it. And I understand that. I mean, that is a really fantastic, compelling final argument for the Wii U, and it's one of those arguments that make me want to get one. And I think if they have a significant price drop, because right now they really need one, I will get a Wii U because I want to play the new Zeldas, the new Marios, and all that stuff. I haven't bought a Nintendo console since the N64. That's the last Nintendo console I bought. So I would like to get back on board that train, but they need to lower the price and make it, accessible for me.
They need to announce a price drop to $199 by June.
200, I can do it. I'd do it for 200.
Yeah, I would do it.
What is it now? At $350?
It's at 300.
It's at 300 for $100 more. You can get a PS4. It's what I mean. It doesn't make sense. But for 200, fuck 200. That's like double an iPhone. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean you can make the argument that the PS3 is like what 200 now as well.
The PS3 better get a price drop too. By the way.
Yeah, it does. I mean, because the Xbox is
$5.
In some SKUs, it's $100.
Yeah. The arcade, I think, is whatever it is, $100. So. All right, next item.
Okay. Just when you think you couldn't port it one more time, Capcom found a way because they are reporting Resident Evil 4 to the PC.
It wasn't already?
It was already on the PC in 2007.
Why are they doing it again?
Because it was evidently a janky motherfucker and was filled with bugs and glitches.
Does
Capcom
have nothing else to do? Are they out of games?
It's what Capcom does!
Are they out of games?
You have to realize this. So, they're re-releasing it on Steam next month for $20. $20. For a game that came out in 2005.
Capcom needs to stop doing that shit and get me Dragon's Dogma 2 for the next gen.
It's called the...
It's not
the fucking HD Ultimate Edition.
What?
It's called the Resident Evil 4 HD Ultimate Edition.
Just give me Dragon's Dogma for the PS4, please. Dragon's Dogma 2 for next gen. That's all I want. All I want is Dragon's Dogma 2 for PS4. That's it. I will put my dick in a boar's mouth, an angry boar's mouth, for Dragon Dogma 2 for the PS4. I would. Get me an angry boar and I will stick my dick right in its mouth if you can hand me Dragon's Dogma 2 for the PS4 after that. I don't even give a shit what happens to my dick. I won't need it anymore. Fuck it.
Okay.
Was it a Deep Down? Is that the
deep down my ass. Deep down
it's something else entirely.
It's something entirely. You know what I'm afraid about deep down? They're all like, oh, and there's this futuristic world. I'm like, oh, great, animus shit in my RPG. Fuck you. Keep your animus, keep your goddamn sci-fi ass out of my RPG dick, okay? I don't want your sci-fi ass in my RPG dick. I want my RPG dick and the sci-fi ass in different places. And if I want dick or want ass, I can get it. But don't put them together.
So if
that makes me a bigot, I'm sorry. What?
You want your RPG dick in a boar's mouth, though.
That's right. I do want that.
Okay. Just making sure that we know where it's going.
Right.
All right. And the last thing I really have is so this past week, or it's either this week or next week, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons comes out on PS Plus for free.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a fantastic game. It was on a bunch of our Game of the Year lists. But Starbreeze has announced their next project.
Okay,
and this one, they are letting very little slip by about this, but it sounds fucking awesome. It's called Storm.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the Danky Kang picture that MGS just put up. I want to make a game about Danky Kang.
Danky Kang, yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
The game is called Storm.
Okay.
It's very early in development. They're saying it's going to be a next-gen only title.
What is a Storm thing?
Probably for release in 2015, maybe 2016.
Okay.
But the idea is that it's being co-developed with Overkill Software, the developers behind the Payday series, and is basically a cooperative Payday in space.
In space.
Yes.
What's it called?
Storm.
Storm. There are no storms in space, though.
Yeah, there are storms in space.
Not really.
Yeah, there are. There are storms in space.
So it's payday in... What does that mean? What does payday in space mean?
That means you'll probably be pulling off like heists and space pirate bullshit.
That doesn't mean anything, though. I mean, do I have a spaceship?
It's set in space. I would have to assume so.
But that tells me nothing. That tells me nothing. That tells me literally nothing. Like, oh, it's payday in space. That could be like payday with a space sky in it. Like, do I have a spaceship and I can go around and shoot down other spaceships and then board them and do all that kind of stuff? Like, that literally gives me no information.
Have you played Payday?
Yes. Payday in space gives me no information. Is it like Payday with laser guns? You know what I'm saying? Like, that gives me no information.
I don't know. I'm just saying. It's from Overkill Software, okay? It's being made by Starbreeze. It's a cooperative sci-fi FPS based around the Payday formula in space.
So it's Payday, but with, like, Star Wars skin on it.
You are just trying to push so many fucking buttons right
No,
now.
that's what you're telling me!
Alright.
That's what you're telling me. Oh, it's Payday, but it's in space. And I'm like, okay, so it's Payday with laser guns. How is that cool?
I want to hang up on you so much right now.
No, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to cut through the bullshit. Like, how is Payday in... What does Payday in space mean? That doesn't mean anything.
It's Payday in space.
That doesn't mean anything! Payday in space is Payday with laser guns and guys in masks. That's what it means.
And there's nothing wrong. That's fucking something to be excited for.
That sounds like a
Payday
mod.
So good.
That sounds like a mod, though. Payday Star Wars. That's what Frank said. He's really excited.
Being made by Starbreeze
What
in
did they?
cooperation with
No,
Overkill.
wait a second. What else has Starbreeze done?
What else has Starbreeze done?
I can't
really?
remember.
You're asking that question?
Yes, because I'm drunk, so I want to know.
Okay. The Chronicles of Riddick.
That's a good game.
The Darkness.
That's good. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Am
So
I
first-
done here?
No, because first-person shooters. Okay, great. So Payday in space.
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
They did that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, they went from the darkness.
That's how I opened this story.
Well,
I prefaced that.
I wasn't paying attention at the beginning. So, but Payday in space still, that doesn't... You know what I want? I want... Here's what I want. I want Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the ship in space, and then when you board the spaceship, it becomes Payday in space. I want to go through the back and forth volley of FTL, but with the graphics of Black Flag, but in space,
I would
an Eve
play
sort of
the
thing.
metric fuck ton out of that
And
game.
then you can teleport into the spaceship, and then it becomes Payday in space. That's what I want.
I would love that game.
Or you
And
So
hit
would
it-
I.
you fucking
many
hit
of those
Space Station?
ideas are possible within Star Citizen, by the way.
You just take jobs and you have to go hit a
Star
space
Citizen.
station and get loot the space station and leave without getting caught.
Bob, I think your girlfriend's having issues.
I almost stepped on him.
Oh, don't step
I
on
feel
him.
bad.
That's sad. She almost killed your red. You know what? Speaking of which, Star Citizen just reached $37 million.
Yes, it did.
How do I get on that team? Sorry, Bob.
God damn it!
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not good. Believe me, I'm not good enough for Star Citizen just yet. I'm barely good enough for Tetropolis.
That's why we're paying you what we are now.
Yeah. We're all learning together. That's how it goes.
You're not paying him anything.
Nothing. It's all right. It's for the love.
At least not yet.
It's for the love. I've been doing good work
Yeah.
though. I've been making lots of stuff. I'm doing good.
Making a whole lot of boxes and cubes.
No,
and
I've been
things
making
like that.
no. My stuff is getting much better. Every next thing I put in is much better than the last.
So you graduate to like round objects like pipes and balls.
I will kill you in a second.
Hey, don't mock my fucking.
Listen, I am making.
I won't mock your fucking pipes and balls.
I am
okay?
submitting fully animated creatures and stuff at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, fully animated squares and lines and.
The squares. So the squares are animated. Sure.
Yeah, they totally exhibit so much animation.
They do.
Yes,
they do. They're happy.
They really are.
They're happy, and they look longing at things, and they get sad when they don't work up to the stuff that they do, and and then they get happy when you bring them things they want, and they do a little jitter.
So just Bob, I had a question for you as far as Tetropolis. When are you going to feel confident enough in Joseph's work to actually let him work on triangles?
Oh, that shows how much you know. Game engines tessellate everything to triangles. Duh.
Actually making the models for triangles and animating those.
You gotta start the squares. He's done a couple of squares. He's pretty good at squares.
He's good at squares.
Tell you, Bob.
Yeah, I think we're almost ready to graduate to more complex tetrahedrons.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, imagine the day that he gets to try out making a pentagon.
I'm terrified. I'm actually wetting myself right now just thinking about it.
This is when I get shit on. That's fine. I shit on everybody else. I'll take it. I'll take it like a man. I'll show you all, motherfuckers. Well, when we're racing our Lamborghinis with Cliff Bleszinski and getting pulled over like Justin Bieber, you'll know. You know we made it. We made it to the big time.
I'm a believer.
The big game time. We're believers. We're all believers here. Let me tell you something, though. I kind of feel bad for Justin Bieber. I kind of do. He's been living in this world that isn't real. This think about how we grew up, right? When we were like 9 years old. Think of yourself from 9 to 18 or 9 to 19, right? You don't know anything. Like, you were an asshole. Like, you were
sociopath.
You were an idiot. Now imagine if during those formative years, you are basically like shoved on stage like a monkey to dance for people and given more money than you know what to do with. Like, that would fuck you up. That would totally fuck you up. Like, so one of my favorite celebrities in the world is Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson for a lot of reasons. I love how crazy he was when he was crazy. Like, he was super fucking crazy. And I love how, as he's gotten older, he's gotten retrospective about himself. And he has this amazing sense of self-awareness where he's like, I was totally fucked up. Like, I was an asshole. Like, I was a crazy motherfucker. And he talks about, and there's actually a documentary about him that came out that I really want to watch. And he actually came around here in Seattle during he's done the spoken word, like comedy spoken word thing, and I missed it. But he talks about how he's like, I was a 19-year-old gangbanger, like shithead, and someone handed me like $20 million, and I didn't know what to do with it. And no one ever told me how to act. You know, and I kind of understand that. I totally kind of understand that. He came from nothing and was given all this money and fame and stuff and fucked it up. And he was a dick. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that says that, he probably, like, I'm sorry, like, my stuff is all messed up. Like, he probably, like, beat his wife and all this stuff, was just a real asshole. But, I mean, the fact is that, I mean, he was just kind of thrown in the lion's den, and it's kind of amazing. What were you talking about?
I have no idea.
I really don't know.
How do we get to Mike Tyson?
Justin Bieber.
Oh yes, we're talking about Justin Bieber. That's right. So I mean, for me, like watching Mike Tyson and watching Mike Tyson stuff, I kind of understand where Justin Bieber is, And it's I kind of get where like Michael Jackson was. Like I love Michael Jackson. Like people don't know this about me, but I love Michael Jackson. I consider Michael Jackson the finest entertainer of our of any generation of the past 20 years, in terms of like song and dance and all that kind of shit. But he was somebody who was completely fucked up by fame and power and money from a young age, and had no idea, like completely lost the sense of how to socialize, and got into all sorts of trouble from that. So I kind of understand where the Justin Bieber and the Lindsay Lohan kind of stuff comes from. It's the fact is, people who get money at a later age do very well compared to people who get money at a younger age. People who get money at a young, dumb age tend to burn out pretty goddamn fast.
Yeah, it's just really, they need to get out of that toxic environment if they actually want to improve themselves.
So apparently Bob has to pee. You have to pee, Bob?
Yes, I'm jonesing.
Bob has to pee. Should we finish it up, or do we want to talk about more stuff? What do we want to do here?
Just ask Tara to bring you a cup, okay?
Yeah, no, I want to see you. Like, I want to see Tara bring you a cup.
Okay.
No,
And I want to see you pee under the desk. Tara, bring him a cup. No, not a cup. He's probably really bent up. Do you have a large beer bottle that he can pee into? Just put the head of your cock.
You got a water bottle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Put your head of your cock into the head, and then pee in it. Live on the internet. Let's see it.
This is how we get subscribers.
Come on.
Maybe when we hit 250 subscribers.
If we get 5 more subscribers, Bob will pee into the cup live on Cocktail Time.
No,
I'm putting this out right now. If Bob gets 5 more subscribers, he will pee into the cup. Come on, can we get some more? Can we get some subscribers?
No.
Come on, can we do it?
No.
5 more subscribers tonight. Bob will pee into the bottle live on Cocktail Time.
How about I'll do it in the other room? The camera will be on.
No, the camera has to be on you. Just, we don't have to see your dick. We don't have to see your dick. Like, if we get 5 subscribers right now, like, just put the bottle by your dick and then pee in it.
Fuck this! I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
No, you're ruining it. You're ruining it.
God damn it, Bob! You disappoint me.
Ruining it all. Look at him go.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, look at him.
He's gonna go pee.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, he can't take it.
Ruining it all. Ruining it all. God damn it! This could have been wonderful. It's gonna be a great bit.
I am disappointed.
This could have been a great bit, a really great bit. He wouldn't have it. He wouldn't even have he wouldn't have to show his dick at all. He could have been completely clothed and just pee in a bottle, like underneath the gas.
Let me tell you something, man. I had to go shirtless for a 3.5-hour cast.
I heard people didn't like it.
Yeah, and all he has to do is just whip out his dick for 20 seconds and pee into a
Why? So here's the thing.
Time difference here is not fair.
Listen. I heard people did not appreciate your shirtless cast. What happened?
Evidently, there were some people in chat who they had bad attitudes and didn't appreciate. Evidently, I wasn't talking to chat as much as I probably should have. I was playing fucking Rise, Son of Rome. Evidently, that pissed some people off too. So I don't fucking care. I got it over. I try to entertain the people. If they didn't like it, I'm sorry.
So I didn't see it. So I can't comment. But I mean, from what I heard, you were going to try to make it into a thing, and it was going to be a big thing. And like,
I tried to, and I bought like $70 worth of stuff, a fucking nice robe and a fucking smoker's pipe, and I made dinner for the cast and the whole 9 yards.
Oh my God, you went all out. You bought $70 worth of clothing, and you made dinner for the cast, and like I heard bitching about the cast.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna lay this out right now. This is why when people complain, sometimes I get a little defensive. And sometimes I get a little pissed off. And I know that we had our 4-player meeting, our community cast, this week, and I was in chat, and I got a little defensive, and people like MGS Master called me out for being a little defensive, and that's why I do, because sometimes we put out a lot of stuff and a lot of resources and stuff, and people don't appreciate it, and I understand other people's where they come from. They don't know what we do. They know the final product, and if the final product doesn't work, well, that's what you do. I mean, if you think about entertainment industry, right? People like put millions of dollars into a TV show. They do a pilot, they do 1 season, they do 2 seasons. It doesn't work. People don't like it. All right, they cancel it, and that's it. That's okay, but for us, I think we take it sometimes a little more personally, which is why sometimes you get like, Wayward Warrior. You get like, oh, those unappreciative fucks, like, God damn you bastards, you know. So sometimes that's why we take it a little personally, I think. And I'm sorry your one night with Chris didn't go as well as you thought it would go.
Sorry I didn't open my robe all the way and do helicopter dick for 2 hours for you.
No, but did you at least go up to the camera and give them a little titty and then like talk to the camera with your drink and be like,
no, it was a classy cast. So I started fully robed, and as the night went on, as wonderful things happened in my life, I was slowly just
robing.
But did you
robing just a little until, about an hour and a half in, I was just like, oh baby, yeah, that was so good. Let's keep going.
Here's my question: Did you do a little dance before when he did it? Did you do a little? I
didn't do a dance because I was intoxicated.
No, that's fine. Intoxication's fine. But did you make a thing out of it? You didn't just open your robe. Did you do a little like to the camera, be like, oh yeah, here we go.
I would.
That's it. Oh, you like that? Yeah. Did you do a little thing like that? There you go. Sorry, I forgot the mic. Well, so I don't know what people are complaining about. I don't know then. I don't know. So Toostcast is saying, honestly, Chris, it didn't feel any different from your other casts once you started playing games. That was my problem with it.
Well,
and Victor's is saying, listen, you
just
looked like you weren't having fun, and it turned from what possibly could be funny into something uncomfortable. Which I think is the best. I mean, I think that's good.
That's amazing.
I like that. I mean, I think the fact that you turned it into something uncomfortable, I think that's positive. I think you should have gone more in that direction.
I don't know if you know this right now, but now just as Bob got back, Poop My Pants just subscribed.
Oh, all right. 4 away from Bob pissing in a bottle.
I hope you think that, Justice.
No, we're actually not. Bob's not going to piss in a bottle, so no one subscribe for that. Subscribe because you like us, but Bob has pussied out, and he has gone and peed in the toilet because he has no...
I got another beer, too.
Bob has peed in a toilet because he's dead inside. And the only people who pee in toilets are dead inside.
If you're not peeing off your balcony at 2 a.m., I just don't... Yeah, who are you?
And that's why I have a balcony and a stand-in shower.
Yeah. So if he's not gonna pee in a bottle, I think he should poop in a box.
Oh, poop in a box. What kind of box?
I don't know.
Just got peed on by a dead horse.
I don't know. It depends on.
Wait, who got peed on by a dead horse? What? Hold on. We have a story. Going, and there's someone on the cast has gotten peed on by a dead horse. And I want to interview this person immediately. Tara, is that you?
Yeah.
Come to the mic. Come to the mic, Tara. Come on.
It's story time.
Come on, it is story time. Put it on, and I want to hear this story. So, everyone, this is a story about... So, Tara, let me introduce everyone to Tara. Tara is Bob's beautiful, wonderful, intelligent girlfriend. She's wonderful. And she apparently let it be known, and she didn't think that we heard her, that she once got peed on by a dead horse. And if there wasn't any other reason to marry this girl, Bob, this is it. So Tara, let us know how this went.
Okay, so when I was an undergraduate in college, I got a job working as, the job is called a necropsy diener, but my job was to cut up dead pets, basically, and try to find out what killed them.
Right.
And this is at UC Davis, so there were lots of horses, cows, goats, like everything
lots
like
of
that.
farm animals, general stuff.
Yeah. So, so before the actual getting peed on happened, this is when I was a little inexperienced, and so when animals have been sitting out for a couple of days in central, California weather in the summer when it's 102 and upward, they get bloat.
The gas builds up in the body.
Yeah, the gas builds up the stomach. I mean, the stomach can get so big that their legs lift off the ground. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So
you gotta pin them and they blow up. Like, how does that?
Yeah, no, they're have you seen the clip on YouTube of the balloon animals where they've got like the little legs sticking off in directions? It's not quite that bad, but it sort of reminds me of that.
I've seen videos of the guy poking the whale, and the whale's stomach blows up.
Yeah, that happened to me. That's where this story is going.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So I was opening up the animal, and I nicked the gut, and the gut blew, and all I remember is this, like, bang! Like this sharp bang, and then all of a sudden I was just a little wetter, and, looked down, and I had this perfect sheen of, like, gut stuff all over the front of me, and when I turned around, there was an outline on the back of the wall, like from Looney Tunes. And I went, and I looked up, and there's like a solid door because they want to make it a little more difficult for people to see in, and there's a little window on the door, and there were two faces of my coworkers pressed to the doorway, laughing their asses off at this perfect outline, and me standing in front of it. And then I got, I was opening them up a little further, and then...
wait. So you're opening up a little further, so you didn't, like, run out and get clean. You kept on going.
There's no point. I mean, you're just going to get more filthy.
Okay, I want everyone know...
Basically.
I want everyone know that Tara poked into a dead animal, and the dead animal entrails went all over her body to the point to where, like a nuclear explosion, her shadow was left on the wall, and she goes, "Welp, whatever," and keeps on going. She keeps on cutting. She keeps on cutting.
I don't want to draw judgment here, but we also just got another new subscriber, Giant Spear.
Giant Spear, thank you very much. Giant Spear, he likes the guts and the blood. You just keep on going. You're like, well, whatever. I'll just keep on cutting this bitch.
But so I'm going down, and at some point to get deeper in, you have to hang them from the ceiling from the hawk.
Oh, sure, of course.
So you wrap a chain around, and then you pull the pulley up and get them up. And as I was going, the bladder sits right up in the
This is for science.
pelvic area,
this is for science,
and I
everybody.
nicked that fucker, and I got rained on by urine.
By dead horse urine.
By dead horse urine. And what's funny is this is like my first week on the job.
How much are you...
Sorry if I got peed. That was not the first time I've been peed on by a dead horse, but that was...
Oh, that's not the first time. It's not only that you got peed on by a dead horse, but first you were, like, nucleared by the guts, and then peed on by the dead horse. I mean, this is not like I was peed on by a dead horse. That's just part of the story, like you said. I mean, at first I was showered in horse gut, and then peed on by dead horse piss. Oh, my God. So, Bob, why have you not, like, married this woman yet? Is there a reason?
It's coming.
Because, in the marriage vows, it is, I will stand by you through sickness and death. That is the bare foundation. I mean, that's no problem for this girl. It's like, you can add on, I will stand by you through sickness and death and whale guts being blown on you and dead horse piss being rained down on you. I mean, there's like all sorts of stuff you could add on. I think you're a shoo-in.
Okay, either A, our viewers love just the image of dead animals being dissected, or B, just women just being covered in guts and piss. But either way, we just got another new subscriber, Whistlebottom.
Oh man, I'm just saying.
Sure, after that though. The urine did it.
The urine did it.
Scrubs.
Only Germans usually say that. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about tonight?
I think we need to have a meeting on this and figure out just what our subscriber demographic is. It doesn't seem to be video games anymore. It seems to be like dissecting animals and covering women in body fluids.
Well, you know, that's just kind of always how it goes. You know. All right. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anything else we want to talk about tonight?
I think we're an hour over when we were supposed to quit, so...
Really? All right. So let us do our final thoughts of the night. This is where we talk about our cocktail time toast. Our final shot. What are the fuck we talking about? Chaser. That's what I was looking for. That word I was looking for. I'll go first. My final thought of the night is that I love Rust. I'm really liking Rust, and I finally have some guns, and I am going to kill you all. I am just gonna kill you all. If I see you in Rust, I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna shoot you. I don't care what you have. If I see you, if you just spawned, I will kill you. And you know why? Because for the past 2 weeks, I have been killed this way. For the past 2 weeks, I have been killed and destroyed and burned and beaten. So now, I am the evil that has been put upon me. I am the evil that has been wrought upon me. And now I shall be that evil to wrought upon everyone else. And I can't wait to get Jeff and everyone else to wrought that evil with me. All right. Chris Davis.
My final thought is that I'm going to finish this drink for the first time in the history of cocktail time.
Good job.
Do it, yeah!
Oh, I found the rest of the alcohol.
Do it, yeah! We like it. Yeah! Yeah!
Oh. That's my final thought for this evening.
All right, Bob!
Well, my final thought is I actually bought Rust during the show, so I might actually have to try it now.
Oh, you both doing the show?
Yeah.
Nice.
God damn it. And also, I only have 1 week of work left.
Yeah, you do. You have 1 week of work left, and then you're working full-time on the game?
Yeah.
And then, like, oh my god, dude, it's like crazy. Like, I'm nervous too for you and for us. Like, we have a beautiful dream.
In 1 week, actually, probably next time we have another Cocktail Time Live, we will know whether we've been accepted to PAX East.
Oh my god, so next Cocktail Time Live, we will know if we got into PAX East or not. It's such an amazing show! Everyone has to turn in for next week's show because we'll know if we got into PAX East or not. It'll be wonderful or awful or, oh my god, it'll be a good show.
We'll be drinking any direction.
We'll be drinking either way. It'll be great. Oh, it'll be so great. All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming out to Cocktail Time Live here at Four Flare Network. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Chris. We will see you next week. And next week we will know whether we are in PAX East or not for our game. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. We have so much work to do. I have so much work to do. Oh my God. All right, everybody. Have a good night. See you next week.